But we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. What's going on? Oh, waiting for chat. Oh, see, I gotta refresh that real quick. Yeah, I figured out how to get y'all messages on the screen now. I've been busy today. But welcome. What is going on? I hope y'all have had a wonderful day. For all of y'all that was here yesterday, we had a great time. I'm glad to see you back here again. And if you missed yesterday, we're going to have an even better time today because I plan on going way longer than 9 o'clock. When I'm going to stop, I have no idea, but we'll figure all that out as we go along. In the great words of Kevin Samuels, we are building an airplane while flying it. That is the best way to put it. You know what I'm saying? But to start things off, yesterday, I watched that Vice video where the woman alleged all the abuse from, from Andrew Tate. That's what it is. Good evening, Timothy. What's going on, my man? Y'all see it? I told you guys I was gonna figure this out. It just took a minute because I don't use Streamlabs. That's all. It just took a minute. But yesterday we talked about the woman alleging all the stuff that Andrew Tate did to her. It turned out it was false, right? She just lied about everything. So to go with that, I actually have a video where, and this is interesting, one of Andrew Tate's friends or lawyer, who is this guy, first off? I don't know, he runs with Tate's crew, I guess. And I guess he was with Andrew Tate the whole time Vice was filming him, and the whole piece Vice was originally doing was completely different from the hit piece that they turned it into. And I wanted to show that video to you guys real quick. So let's go ahead and just dive into that head first. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just making sure y'all can see it.
I was there for the entirety of the Andrew Tate documentary, and it became very clear that they were not going to publish it because it was all positive. Even though we allowed him in, behind closed doors, we allowed him into the meetings, we allowed him to do the training, we allowed him to take part as if he was one of us. It was only positive. And he even made a comment. He was like, while I don't agree with you on quite a few of your public opinions, I have to admit that you're doing something positive for young men. He said,
y'all see that? This is the guy from the video we watched yesterday. This is the same guy. What's going on, Brown and Dope? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. I told y'all, see, it's on this screen too. I told you I was gonna figure it out.
Said that, and it wasn't until the morning of they were going to be leaving that his handler, producer, I have no idea who he was, got on a phone and then immediately went over to Matt, and then obviously couldn't hear the conversation, but the next thing I know, they tried to turn it into a hit piece on Andrew. That was where the clip where Andrew was like, what are you saying? And then the clip that they're trying to spread, and they sat on the entire documentary because the whole world is pro Andrew, and now they've waited until all this stuff has been happening over the past couple of weeks, and all of a sudden they have this mysterious hit piece. Don't believe it, guys. I was there.
Yeah, we already knew. We looked at that Vice video yesterday. The fact in the very beginning when that girl was like, he got me 5 bottles of alcohol because I was so nervous to hop on the cameras, and I'm just like, okay, I mean, you get a little liquor, nothing out the ordinary. And then she was like, he never drunk anything, and I drank all 5 bottles of alcohol myself, and I remember everything that happened that night. And it was like, huh? What are you talking about? What did you just say? Ain't no way you just said that. And then she was like, he hit me, and then we had sex, and it was okay because, he handed me a wad of money. But then she said she was only making $15 an hour. It was just lie after lie. None of that sounded real at all. Good evening, Tyree. What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Oh, see, that your picture didn't come up. Now, wait a minute. Let me refresh this. We're going to get a picture to come up. All right, well, you know what? That's technology. I tried. I tried my best, and we're just going to leave it at that. But yes, welcome, everybody that's in. I just wanted to start off with that little tidbit because we watched the whole little Andrew Tate thing yesterday. But to start off today, outside of that, I wanted to check out this video from an account called What Do You Mean? It's a Christian account. And it's titled, Logan Paul Mocked God and Got What He Deserved. So if you don't know what's been going on with Logan Paul lately, CoffeeZilla did an expose piece on him for the scam that Logan Paul had. It was called Crypto Zoo. And first off, it was a scam. I don't even know how people put money into that to begin with, but that was a scam number one, right? Then right after that, what happened? A lot of stuff happened to Logan Paul in a very short amount of time. Because it was Crypto Zoo, and then today he catching heat because his pet pig was found alone in the wild. That was random. Something else happened to him too. I can't think of it right now, but we're gonna hop into this video and we're gonna see what Do You Mean has to say about it.
Logan Paul recently mocked God,
a belief that is silly.
and then this happened.
I made some pretty out of line comments
saw
to
it?
George. The following 3 weeks have been
I guess
the
this will be your
hardest
second time seeing it.
of my life. We were invited by Qatar. We landed in Qatar. Camera stripped from us. $20,000 camera. No problem. It's just little things here and there. Things aren't showing up. We misscheduled. Got violent food poisoning. Next day got alcohol poisoning. Our luggage was delayed, so we had no clothes to get to our events. Me and Mike got in a massive fight.
But rather than him complaining that it wasn't fair, he actually thought that he deserved it.
Qatar was the first time I felt the wrath of God. Ironically, I defamed Jesus and God, and I felt his wrath. It was very telling to me how the karmic energy of the universe, this is what I'll call it, just went right back around and put me in my place.
But even though George was quick to forgive Logan for mocking,
Yeah, that's how God works. That's how God works. Because if you guys don't know what happened, there was his podcast, I think the week or so before. This guy right here, George, he's the Christian out of the bunch, right? George is kind of fair weather to me, though. He kind of lukewarm sometimes. But with that said, he's the Christian of the bunch. And he got into it with Logan, whoever this other guy is, because I really don't watch this podcast. And they got on him super hard about his religion, and they were saying how it's fake. They really got on God and Jesus, especially Logan. So the fact that he did that and then immediately just got boop, boop, bop, 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 nonstop. That's what happens. You don't play with God.
mocking his faith, the fans didn't believe that Logan deserved his forgiveness. Bro, how many times are people going to forgive him? Every time he gets away from it. You cannot apologize time and time again and just be forgiven. Point is, he ain't sorry and he don't care. Y'all still be feeding this man and he does everything else but say he is sorry. But even though the fans didn't believe that George should have forgiven Logan, what they didn't know was what happened the night before the podcast episode that enabled George to forgive Logan so easily.
The night before it happened, bro, I'm sitting and I'm reading the Bible. And I literally say a prayer to God. I know you love him, but I want to kill him. I want to punch him in the face, but I know you don't want me to. And I know you love him. And I know this opportunity between two best friends could open a lot of people's eyes to who God is. So I sat there and I go, God, what do you want from me? God says, be quiet and love. And like, bro, like I felt it. I'm in the kitchen, Belle's cooking dinner, and I sat there and I go, Belle, I think God just talked to me. Like, I'm not trying to be like a lunatic. And hear me out, I think I just gotta talk out of love. I gotta talk out of love. And she's like, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, I don't know, I just feel like I gotta talk out of love. And I sat on the couch and I'm just sitting off and I'm like, bro, what does he want from me? How can I go and portray Jesus in the best way possible? She goes, hey, Adam is blowing up your phone. I answer the phone. He goes, bro, I gotta tell you something. Jesus told me to tell you he loves you, and yes. And I'm like, what? I go, why did you just say that? Belle put her knife down. I go, buddy, back up. Why did you say that? He goes, I have no idea what's going on. He goes, 3 times in my prayer, God interrupted me. He goes, go tell George whatever he feels in his heart is right. And it was at that moment, bro, where I was like, all we had to learn is like, regardless of what you say and regardless of what I say, speak out of love. And to be honest, bro, like it just came to the conclusion of this. There is a very real God that will walk through this journey with you. That God is right near you. Neither him or me or Mike or any single person here will ever abandon a man like you, because you're not worth abandoning. And I love you.
So from George's point of view, God prepped him to forgive Logan in advance by telling him that he should be calm and to show love to Logan. Now, I personally haven't learned from God or not, but one thing that I do know is that one part of what he said is consistent with what God says about forgiveness in scripture. In Matthew 18:22, the question of how many times you should forgive someone came up. Peter says to Jesus, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Given the fuller context of this verse, the point is that we should keep forgiving people a near infinite amount of times. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that we should enable bad behavior or refuse to put up appropriate boundaries, but what it does mean is that we should forgive people for the countless things that they've done to us, and the reason why is because of the near infinite things that God has forgiven us for. So as Christians, we should offer people what they don't deserve, and sometimes that's our forgiveness. And the reason why we're able to do this is because God gave us forgiveness that we didn't deserve either. But if you're a Christian who refuses to forgive those who hurt you, I hope you don't mind me asking, but what do you mean?
Oh man, I love his videos. That is something that like I have to work on more. Cause my whole life up until me becoming like religious, I don't like being the bigger person. Like, I'll do it because that's what you're supposed to do. They're just like, oh, just let it go. That's what you're supposed to do. But I never liked it because when I would, like, be the bigger person, it's like the other person just didn't care, right? They're just like, in their mind, they're just like, yeah, you should forgive me. And then they keep being an a-hole and getting on my nerves. And I'm just like, I don't like this. Ironically enough, I then get into a religion where, like, Christians have to forgive all the time. Man. But yeah, I feel like I'm better at it now, but I still feel like I have ways to go to be like how a Christian should truly be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still at the beginning of my journey. Give it to God. God will help you. Yeah. I have, but it's that human element that I still be struggling with, you know? Because it'd be some things where old me just want to pop back out and just be like, pop, 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 pop on somebody, and I can't do it. I can't do it. Forgiving becomes a great feeling inside. Once you practice, it brings joy. I guess it would have to if you've done it long enough. I'm not 100% there yet. But I'm working on it, and that's all that matters. I'm working on it. I will say my anger is like a bazillion times better than it used to be. So I have that going for me. We're on that path. So that path is good. There are days where I'm yeah. But isn't that true though? That's just our earthly flesh. Cause our flesh is like sin-filled nature and all that. Y'all know, the ones that read the Bible. You know this. Y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, it is be times where you just want to revert back real quick. Your sis says it's a long journey. It is. We gonna be doing this until we die. But it's cool because we know where we going when we die. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all gonna see each other and be like, hey, you made it. Hey, we gonna be dapping each other up, you know, kicking it. But, all right, so we started with Andrew Tate. We went to a Christian video. I'm going to keep trying to switch it up, you know, so I'm not just on one thing for too long. So this one, yeah, this isn't a Christian video. So this is, I guess, more on the conservative side. I'm going to just say the common sense side of things. It's from a channel called Better Bachelor, and it says, brilliant move. He's gaming the system with their own dumb rules. Oh, okay. I've never seen this, but the titles, usually I pick titles if they sound good. I'm not gonna lie, I took an L with one of them yesterday. If you were here yesterday, it was from Coach Greg Adams. That video was horrible. The guy, okay, so our views as Christians on marriage, even some people, because I still held the same view when I wasn't a Christian, but I think marriage is a beautiful thing, and starting a family afterwards, you know, not having children out of wedlock, yada, yada, yada. Coach Greg Adams is like the complete opposite of that. It's crazy. But let's go ahead and get into this video and see what they are talking about. Better Bachelor. Okay.
So, from Not the Bee, this is a Witch's Babylon Bees, not satire.
Look at this. Father identifies as a mother to win child custody. My man, kudos to you. Good job. Do whatever you got to do to get the kid. I guarantee, because what are they going to do? Are they going to question him? If he be like, oh, you know what? I'm the mom now. It's like you can't question them because now that's hate. That's hate speech at that point.
So this is a legitimate news source because they actually do investigative journalism.
Oh, that's funny.
Father
happened?
identifies
Okay.
his mother to win child custody. See, these are what the men's rights activists and others talk about is when they say, hey, you're not even looking at what's actually going on. You're just making assumptions and saying, oh, mom's better for the kid. And also men can be women, and also men can have babies and all this other stuff. So guys out there, I said it before, it won't be long until men start using these crazy laws against them. That's exactly what's happening. We have from Not the Bee. They say, you can't make it up, folks. I dare you to even try. And it says, man legally changed from male to female to gain custody of his kids. And, of course, the transitioning groups are concerned. Why are they concerned? Because
Why?
they're saying, well, is he really or is he just pretending?
Aren't y'all
And then you
pretending?
start getting into, how do you tell the difference? And then you start saying, well, I don't know. How can you tell the difference? You can't. This is what you get when you start making things based on feelings and ideology and everything else. Is someone can just come out and say, okay, you're right. I am now a woman, and I want to be mother to my children. And then they're trapped. They're trapped in either saying, A, he's faking it. How dare you? How dare you say that you've told me it's what I feel like in the moment? Some
That's
people
what I
can
just
have
said.
various genders throughout the day based on what they feel. Your rules. So if this guy says, hey, I feel like I want to be a mother to my children, how do you fight it? This is why we have laws of nature, laws of science, laws of governance that make sense. They say a cisgender man in Ecuador legally changed his gender to female in an attempt to gain custody of his 2 daughters. But the LGHD TV groups are concerned about the man's use of law designed to promote the transitioning rights and what effect it could have in the future. And Babylon Bee, obviously this is an opinion piece as well. They say, oh, really? They're afraid an opportunistic fellow might use these laws to pretend to be a woman in order to give himself a positional advantage of some kind. Really? You mean that might happen? And then, of course, they have the laughing meme here. Of course. Opportunities in sports, opportunities in jobs, opportunities in education, opportunities in getting hired, promoted. These are your rules. You say it's stunning and brave. So don't be surprised when more people say, and then when they say, well, who have you dated? My love life is not your business. This is what happens when you do this. And this funny, like, I love this story. This is a feel-good story because it's guys saying, hey, you know what? You guys are going to make the weird rules. I'm going to play your game, but I'm going to be smarter than you at it. And that's what I love. Renee Salinas Ramos.
Yeah, I love this. This is wonderful. Like, this is the best way you can go about playing, like, using their logic against them. Because this is just great. He said everything I basically said at the beginning of this.
Renee Salinas Ramos, 47, told local media that the change was not related to his sexuality or identity, but rather that the Ecuadorian legal system gives preferable rights to mothers over fathers when it comes to the custody of children. The laws say that one who has the right is the woman. As of this moment, I am female. I am now also a mom. That's how I consider myself, Salinas Ramos told La Voz del Tomebama outside the Civil Registry office on December 30th in the city of Cuenca. I'm very sure of my sexuality. What I have sought is that I want to be a mother so that I can also give the love and protection of a mother. Salinas Ramos alleged that his daughters live in a harmful environment with their mother and that he hasn't seen the children in over 5 months. Now when you go to court, instead of mother versus father, it'll be mother versus mother. And
Yeah, if I'm him, he did the right thing. His children lived in abuse for 5 months. That's wild. I also don't like the fact that they automatically just give the kids to the mom, too. I feel like you should, first of all, depending on how old the kids are, you should be asking them where they want to go and where they would feel more comfortable at. But if they're too young, you kind of just want to put them in the best situation. You don't want to put them in, like, a messed up situation or an abusive situation. This guy did right. He did what he was supposed to do.
now we have to look at the differences between the mothers. background, living status, income, other things. And if it turns out the one mother's better than the other, oopsie doopsie, now you've got yourself a transitioned mom. They say you always have to take claims like this with a grain of salt, but if this fellow's kids are indeed in a harmful environment, you need to give him some credit for utilizing a ridiculous legal loophole and try to protect them. That being clever and resourceful.
Hey, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. I be trying, man. I be trying. That's all I can do.
Just the things a protective father would be. The man is apparently not wrong about Ecuadorian law, by the way, from a British law firm. They state, if the parties are unable to agree to child arrangements, the court will decide matters. However, minor children are usually considered to be the primary responsibility of the mother and will live with her. Again, not looking at other outside, it's just they go with mom. And normally I would agree, but the problem is now moms are not necessarily good or healthy or better than fathers. They used to be staying at home. They used to be getting child support so they could just be a stay-at-home mom. But now women are going out there and they're using their child support money for shoes and cars and all this other crazy stuff. Gasoline, I guess, to get the kid around. I could understand that one. But makeup, other things like that. All right.
Hey, what he's saying is true. So I actually saw another video where, what's the show called? Like the View, the Talk. It has, crap, I don't watch any of these shows. It has Tamara Mowry on there, and then Jeannie Mai, whatever her name is, she married to Jeezy now. But whatever their show was, they were talking about how they want to change it here to put child support on a debit card, and it can only be used for like certain things. And like two of the women on the panel were just like, okay, I don't see anything wrong with that. And then you had like the other two women on the panel that were just like, I just feel like a mom should, you know, if they feel tired, they should use that money to go out clubbing and get drinks and stuff. What's the point? And it's like, it's called child support. You know? Can you imagine if like they were paying child support to the dad and then they found out he's just like, man, it's just rough raising the kids. So, you know, I took your money instead of using on the kid. I went down to the bar and kicked it with my boys and bought a couple bottles of beer and stuff. They would lose their minds. That divorced man that won't call his son by the pronouns that the mother wants might want to try it. He pays a lot of money just to have a visit and has two officials overseeing. That won't call his son. Are you talking about the Texas dad? Is that who you're talking about? There's a lot of cases out right now where the guys are just getting screwed left and right by the women and the government when it comes down to like transing your kid and pronouns and a bunch of stuff. They're taking it all types of different ways. It's horrible. But yeah, are you talking about that guy? Because I think if you are, the mother's taking that kid to Cali to do the operation, because Cali just passed something. They passed a bill where you could seek refuge there to trans your kid. So if you come from another state, so say the dad wanted to go get the kid in Cali, he would get arrested on site. So he can't even go like save his kid now, if that's what you're talking about. All right. Well, that was pretty much the end of that video because it looked like he was about to get into his own viewpoint for like the next 1 or 2 minutes. So the next one, we got another Jesse Lee Peterson video, but this one's way shorter, and it's only 8 minutes long, but nobody ran. This is a clip from when he actually interviewed Just Pearly Things. If you haven't watched her channel is amazing. But it's titled, Why Do Christians Act the Way They Do? This is interesting because I don't know if Pearl is religious or not. I know she stated that she's always been really conservative since she was young, but I have no idea if she's religious or not. But let's go ahead and hop into that.
Are you a Christian?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah.
What does sort of mean,
Sort of
Pearl?
Christian.
Well, I feel like there's like a group of people that like would be pretty religious, but we like, there's just a lot of issues I see in the church where like feminism has kind of overtaken the church, And yeah, I just feel like there's kind of like a group of us that don't really have anywhere to like call home because there's not really churches that represent us. But I think that's also an excuse that bad Christians say. So I was like, maybe I'm just not a good Christian.
What I never understood, and I'm starting to ask people, when I ask, are you a Christian? Most people would say, well, yeah, but I don't go to church, or no, because of the churches are bad. I don't understand, what does the church have to do with the individual being a Christian or not? Because the church is just a place where you go to fellowship, you know, but it doesn't have anything to do with the individual.
I'm so, you don't understand, I'm so opinionated in the churches. They can't handle me. They can't, yeah. It's like when they talk about these born-again virgins, I'm like, don't accept that, man. Stop accepting these bad deals. Why are you waiting for a used car? Like, they can't handle me in church.
So you would say that in church?
Yeah. I mean, not like in front of everybody, but it's like after church, I'm like, why is he saying that?
Oh, okay.
I can't, I know I should.
No, you should speak up. You absolutely should.
And
It sounds like she needs to find a more traditional church to go to. She might be going to some like progressive type churches, just from the sounds of it. That's just what it sounds like. I don't know. But also, to get back to that though, church is good because you want like some sort of, like you said, fellowship, community. But technically, if you just don't have a good place to go, your best bet is like at least just reading it at home and practicing what you're reading. And if you need some sort of help, I mean, that's what the internet is here for. We all should have access to it. You can basically Google a lot of your questions to find answers. There's communities online you can go to, like in Discord. I'm in like 3 different, technically I'm in 2 Christian Discords and I'm in 1 Catholic Discord, but that's just because I'm cool with the Catholic guy. But a lot of that stuff, I don't really understand what they're talking about, which is crazy because I'm studying right now because I'm trying to set up a meeting with a Catholic church so I can do a video to put on the channel, but I still don't understand a lot of stuff.
It's like, yeah, because it's like, why are you telling, and then you have these like celibate girls in the church where I'm like, good luck selling that used car with like 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell them, wait till I'm there, okay.
Here we go for Timothy. She is not Christian, unfortunately. Praise for her. I do agree with her. There are a lot of bad so-called churches out there. Pray for discernment. Yeah. She needs to, I think what's stopping her, because she's also on the red pill side of things, so she kind of also sees things out of that lens. This is why I said red pill is only good up to like a certain point. From there, the rest of it is pretty trash. You might as well just be God-pilled. Honestly.
A lot of men go to church to look for a woman, and then they end up getting the same thing if they had not gone to church.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is amazing.
Why do church members put the preacher or pastor, whatever it may be, on a pedestal rather than just seeing them as another person who is teaching the Bible or whatever he's doing? Why are they automatically put on a pedestal?
Well, it's kind of like, I think of it as like a coach. You know what I mean? Like if I have a volleyball coach and then I see her play volleyball and I'm like, oh my God, you're absolute trash. It's like, you know, I mean, I might say, oh, well, they're telling you the right things, but it's kind of like, well, I don't really want to play for this team if the coach is trash.
Oh.
That's how I would describe it.
Really?
Yeah.
But the coach have to deal with the same temptations in life that you or anyone else.
Yeah.
They're not like protected from those temptations.
Yeah, but you just think after 20, 30 years, you'd have some skill.
Right.
If you're like 50, 60 and you're the pastor, the preacher, and then it's like you have no skills built up, none.
Yeah.
They're partying, drinking, smoke. I mean, it's a stereotype for a reason, right?
Right.
And so then they're like,
Ooh, what church she go
what
to?
skills are you teaching here? Clearly not good ones if you can't. And I'm not saying, like, I understand, like, it's probably just an excuse to be a bad, like, you know, to not practice or whatever, but that's just how I see it.
And so
Leave the church where the pastor is the center of attention. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Your pastor should not be the center of attention. He should not. I recently did a video where it was exposing, they call themselves the Church of God Restoration, right? they're really a cult. And it's in this small town that is in Ohio, but it's very close to the Indiana border. They got the whole town involved in on it, right? And they view their pastor, which they call their pastors apostles. That's what's even crazier. They think that they are all apostles of Jesus. And the top one, I think his name is called Apostle Paul, the one in the cult church. And they think he is the mediator to get to God. So they think he could talk to God. They think he's as high up as the apostles that were with Jesus, but he's so high up that they have to be with him to get to God. Like, they think he's up there with Jesus and stuff. It's insane. It is crazy. But that's because they made their pastor the center of attention when they should not have been doing that in the slightest. Wonder when and where they met Jesus. I wonder that too. Now, the only reason I will say they're not like a super crazy cult, if you question, so what you just questioned right there, if you were to say that to their face, they would be like, oh, you're asking questions to me? How dare you do that to me? And I am Apostle Paul. You are excommunicated from the church, and you're just kicked out pretty much. You can still live in the town and everything because it's just a small town. You just can't be in the church anymore. So, yeah, they don't like kill you or anything, because that was one of my concerns when I was watching the video. Yeah, you go to a tiny church and you all work together. Yeah, I go to a pretty tiny church too, and it's like super traditional. Everybody works together. Everybody's super nice. And everything, so my church, literally, because I'm non-denominational, all they speak and talk about is this. They only speak from this. And there's no opinion. So, like, you know how you go to prosperity pastors and stuff, you go to their churches, and they throw in a bunch of crap that was never said in the Bible? Yeah, I don't go to those churches at all. I feel like that's a waste of time. I actually grew up around that, and it was just a big turnoff. It's probably one of the main things that curbed me away from Christianity when I was younger.
You, because of those things, you're not sure if you're a Christian, or
Like,
you're halfway there, or what?
yeah, well, I did 12 years of Catholic school, and so
That don't
then
count.
I did 2 years of Bible study in like a Christian church.
Right.
So I haven't practiced in probably like a year and a half, 2 years, but I know a decent amount about like the Bible, and I
Right.
have a religious like foundation.
What is it when you say practice it?
Uh-huh.
What is that? How do you practice that?
Like go to church every Sunday.
Oh, go
I
to
think I
church.
go to church every like 2 months. I feel like that's not a good. I feel like that's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's not.
You go to the right church, Sola Scriptura. I guess they literally, they just call themselves Bible church. I was confused when I first became Christian. I did not know where to go. So there's a lot of churches in my city and like in the surrounding cities and stuff. And I would like go out walking, and it'd be like Lutheran church, Protestant church, this church, that church, and I'm like, because then I started thinking about it. I'm like, what's the difference with all these denominations? And see, that's one of the main reasons I'm creating that series on my channel, because I looked stuff up after the fact and nothing spoke to me. So I was just like, you know what? Bible. That's all I need is the Bible. And I was out one day and it said Bible church. I was like, well, we'll give that a try. Only scripture. Okay, cool. So that means I'm going to the right thing. Sola Scriptura, you threw me off for a second because I'm in that Christian Discord and stuff. That's what they say with their terms. So I didn't know if that was a Catholic term or not. I know Kyle, if he ever sees this, he gonna be like, I gave you 3 books. How are you still confused about stuff? But I am. I've said this before in videos, because I keep all my books next to me on my desk. So he sent me this. Hold on, let me go to the bigger screen. He sent me this. So it says, Why We're Catholic. Because I'm supposed to actually interview him as well. He's Catholic, but I don't know nothing about Catholic people. So he sent me this. Then, because we had such a good conversation, then he sent me this. If this goes. So it says, Jesus and the Jewish roots of the Eucharist. And then he sent me this. A father who keeps his promises. And the guy who wrote this actually is a high-ranking professor at this Catholic college that I do want to talk to, but I'm not going to be able to talk to him at the college, but I'm going to a debate in like at the very beginning of March, and that guy's gonna be there because I guess it's like a Catholic debate. I gotta relook this back up. Kyle's gonna be like, why don't you remember any of this? But at that debate, because I'm not Catholic, apparently afterwards, I'm gonna be in like a video of talking about the debate from like somebody who's not Catholic point of view versus a Catholic's point of view. And then the channel who's running it, they have like 300 and some thousand subs. I'm supposed to be on theirs. I don't know. A lot of these Catholics is like got happy because they're just like, oh, a non-Catholic that's interested. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, my whole thing is apologetics, and then I'm running this series. I just want to know it all. Don't mean I'm a be Catholic, but I just want the knowledge.
How important is it to go to church?
Say the right answer,
What church?
Pearl.
Some churches will probably leave you off worse. But I think it's important. That's why I feel
Okay.
weird like saying
She said
I'm
the
a
right
Christian
thing.
if you're not practicing. Because I feel like how are you going to claim something if you're not going regularly?
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so, in
Amazing.
order to be a Christian,
Yeah.
you believe that you should at least go to church.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. I haven't thought about it that in depth, but
Right.
yeah, that's
Be-
why I'm hesitant to say.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because our bodies are the temple, really. Our bodies are the church. And the only reason to go to church if you want to fellowship, learn something, a little bit more than what you know, I guess.
Yeah.
But our bodies, really, wherever we are, the church is there. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people have been taught and trained that they have to go to church. If you don't go to church, because I notice that when I go home to visit, first thing they want to know is what church you go to, right? And it's nice to go to church, but it's not a must.
Yeah, I feel like lazy Christians say that. And I'm one of them, so.
That is not a must that you go to church.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like a lazy Christians thing to say. I'm one of them, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Do you, and so, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state? The show is called The Fallen State.
Oh, is that where it comes from?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Well, what do you mean by fallen state?
Fallen away from God.
Oh, yes. I think if you 200 years ago, were we more aligned with God in terms of morals, or now? I would say 200 years ago.
Yeah. I noticed that, I don't know if you have, but that Christianity is the most hated religion. It's always under attack more than any other religion.
More than Jewish?
I agree with
I feel
that.
like they're like,
Christianity and Judaism. Why do you think Judaism is under attack equal to Christianity?
I mean, the Holocaust.
The what?
The Holocaust.
Oh, the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's.
But I know that there are a lot of people who hate Judaism, that's for sure, and they blame the Jews for everything. But it seems as though everybody is going against Christianity.
Yeah.
Unless you don't see it that way?
No, I mean, I do think people are against Christianity. I'm not super like well versed in like.
Oh, I see.
But why do I think that is? I don't know. I think people live horrible lives, and misery loves company. It's kind of like the fat chicks, the whales, when they're like, oh, you can eat whatever you want. You look great, sis.
Right.
Nash, you don't. Get on the treadmill.
That's right.
Come on, Becky, get on the treadmill.
Why is it so hard for women to accept the truth about themselves?
Why?
Yeah.
She sounded like Sneeko for
I
a
think no
second.
one tells us the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like from a young age, you're told you should be treated like a queen from a guy.
Yeah.
Why do you deserve that? You're just a regular. You're like a 5.
That's amazing.
Yeah, if you're an 8, maybe.
That's amazing.
You're like a 5'6". Like, why do you think you deserve princess treatment? And then, and you're
As many, Pearl is like super red pill now. That last bit, like, nah, get on the treadmill, Becky. Right? She sounded just like Sneeko. That sounded like something he would have said on his live stream. Oh, man. I like her channel, though. I like her content. But that bit right there, she went straight on like a Sneeko rant. Oh, that was kind of funny. Yeah, I enjoy her, too. She gotta be a better Christian, though. She gotta dive into her Bible. And the church isn't necessary, but it is good if you're part of a good church. I can't say join one just to join one, because we done see many videos on my channel where that does not end up well, you know, if you go to the wrong one. But all right, this next video, this from I actually like this channel. It's called Night Talk. Also, he curses a lot, so like every other word is a curse word. That's why I stopped reacting to his videos on my own, because just editing the swear words out took so long, especially for a very short video. But this is titled Father Sent to Jail for Paying Too Much Child Support, and I thought that was just a wild title, so I figured we could watch that together. Yeah, it is good to be in community with other believers. It really is. That's why I said if you can't find a good church, so like if you live in LA, for example, a lot of those churches are probably going to be very progressive. So if that's not you, your best bet would to be at home and maybe find something online to be a part of. And then like churches live stream nowadays, like my church live streams. I remember we had like a really bad blizzard and then it rained. It looked like it was flooding outside and they still had service. They live streamed it. I caught it right from my couch. I was like, I'm not going out in that. You're crazy. Well, let's get into this video from Night Talk about why a father was sent to jail for paying too much in child support. It sounds wild. That's just a wild title.
Well, a Houston father is facing 180 days in jail for overpaying his child support and over visiting his 11-year-old son. His attorney and a community activist.
I'm gonna just run that back. 180 days in jail.
Houston father is facing 180 days in jail for overpaying his child support and over visiting his 11-year-old son. His attorney and a community activist are now demanding answers. Randy Wallace joins us live with a story you'll see only on Fox. Randy?
Don, we all expect to see judges throw the book at fathers who fail to pay child support. But a father who says he's been doing the right thing now has an arrest warrant against him.
It's my responsibility to take care of it. You know, I brought him in this world, I have to.
Clifford Hall says he's more than happy to pay child support for his 11-year-old son.
I'm his father. You know, it's my responsibility to take care of it.
But Hall says when the amount of child support was modified, no one told him.
And I discovered that for some reason his employer was withholding a large amount some weeks, a small amount some weeks, zero amount some weeks.
And I didn't want to go to jail, basically.
So Hall quickly paid almost $3 grand in back child support. When Hall and his ex-wife were in Judge Lisa Millard's court last November, he owed nothing.
Opposing counsel testified twice that he's all paid up.
But the attorney representing the child's mother wanted Hall to pay her $3 grand in attorney fees, and Judge Millard agreed. Court documents also reveal Hall wasn't following the court's scheduled times to pick up his son, another modification he says he knew nothing about.
The judge ended up sentencing him to 6 months in jail.
When she said, remand you to the Harris County Jail for 180 days, my mouth just dropped.
This entire situation is shocking to me. I've never seen one like this.
Community activist Cornell X wants the state's judicial board to investigate.
The court failed the child. The court failed Mr. Hall. The system broke down.
I can't be there for my son in jail. I can't pay child support in jail. You know, this is not in the best interest of the child.
This don't make no type of sense. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Nikki? What's going on? Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you so much. We watching a guy getting railroaded for paying too much in child support and spending time with his son. It's crazy. Yeah, family court is a joke. It is the biggest joke in the world. Oh, that's Houston? That's where you grew up? Well, they tripping down in Houston.
Judge Lisa Millard says
They gotta
Hall
hold this
walked
L.
out of court after he was found in contempt, which she says is a big no-no. Judge Millard also points out Hall's attorney could have filed a motion for reconsideration. She says that would have allowed her to hear both sides again and reevaluate the situation. Hall's attorney is now working on an appeal, and in a few days, Hall plans to turn himself in, and Don will, of course, keep everybody posted on how this plays out.
It really is a strange situation.
That's a
rough.
super strange situation.
That's rough, man. That pisses me off. But that's why we do this, right? Bringing awareness to this nonsense, bro. That's crazy, bro. You got pops out here overpaying in child support to fix an error that his employer made because they weren't cutting the checks right. He comes when the bit overpays, gets caught up, doesn't owe anything, and they still try to drag him through the mud. And then he gets in trouble for over visiting his child, bro. This goes against the entire narrative, especially the single the deadbeat black father narrative. You got a man out here who is you can't be over present in your child's life. There's no such thing as that. But a willful, able-bodied, financially bodied parent that wants to be there for his father in the court is ripping him away and rather place him in jail for doing things that he wasn't even aware that he was doing. Attorney didn't even fucking know. They made modifications to the child custody agreement. He's gonna go to jail for overpaying and being too present in his child's life. As a vindictive ass, bitch made ass mother doing this to the father of her child, which makes no sense. Why? And logically, it makes no sense. I understand the concept of women being in their feelings so much that they will try to make the father of their child's life miserable, but that does nothing positive for your child. Now you just ripped the father from the child's life entirely, placed him in jail where he's not going to be able to be present and he's not going to be able to continue child support, you stupid ass. This goes to any of these, because this case is old. I just realized this case was old when it was sent to me, but still, it still remains. The court system still operates the same fucking way. You know what I mean? Gender biased in the motherfucker. They victimize the hell out of men all the goddamn time, and this is like the epitome of it, bro. The epitome of it, bro. You rather make your baby daddy's life so miserable to rip him from your son's life. You know the attorney gonna go right along with it because she getting paid for every hour she clock in, and the man gonna have to fucking pay.
Yeah, that's messed up. That it doesn't make any sense because like now that he's caught up, and it's like, we still gonna put you in there for 180 days. If he's in there for 180 days, okay, now he's losing his job because they're not holding that for him. So how's he paying child support now? Which will put him back in the same cycle of being like, oh, hey, you're not paying your child support, and you'd be right back in jail. And then to sit there and be like, oh, you spending too much time with your kid. You only supposed to follow the dates we listed. Too much time with your child. That is wild. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. Men, look. I know. If you go God pill, make sure you pick the right woman. There's a good chance you won't have this problem. There's actually studies done where when both parties are religious, all right, the chance for divorce is like way lower than if you get married when you are not religious. Even when you factor in, so there's a study where like if both parties are not religious, right? Not really religious. And it shows how much you get divorced. So in terms of money, if you make this much money and then it starts like going up, the rate of divorce is like up here and it starts actually going down. But the more money you make, until you hit like some weird threshold of like multi-millionaire type status, then it like starts going back up again because, you know, of course it would. But that same study, when they put it against Christian households, right? Now you have two people are together and they both very spiritual and religious. The divorce rate, no matter what the dollar amount you are bringing in, is way lower. It's like way down here somewhere, no matter where you are on the money charts. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's hard enough to find upstanding men, yet alone penalizing the good ones. Yup. Be evenly yoked. Yes. You need to be evenly yoked. Hold on, we got another one. Christ at the center of marriage. Yes. That's how it should be. That's how it always should be. I'm telling you, red pill, because this is technically a red pill channel. It's only good for so much. It's only good for so much. All the studies are way better when both parties are religious. Man, even the studies were like, if both parties are like Muslim and Jewish and stuff, they still fare better on the divorce rate charts than two parties that are atheists and agnostic and stuff. You fare way better on the charts. I'm saying Christ got to be at the center of it all. That's still wild. That's still wild. Oh. Yeah, God first in our lives. Yes, y'all saying all the right things right now. Y'all, see, we all on the same page. That's why I like y'all. That's why I like y'all. Okay, we have another video from another page that I like to watch. So this is from Bruin Leon, and it's titled, "Wanting to be Skinny is Anti-Blackness." I actually saw this the other day, and I couldn't find it again because I couldn't remember where I saw the video, and then I saw him put this up today. So I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch this together. Look, I just want to know what it means. If being skinny is racist, then what does that mean for me? All right, look how skinny I am. Look at this, and I'm black. So what does that mean? I'm racist to myself? Is that what that means right now? I hate myself? Is that what they telling me? That's what happens if you on the left? They probably would say something like that to my face. It's like, oh, my sister, you hate yourself. Why are you so skinny? All right, let me just play the video.
This is not like racism, it is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people. And appearing curvier, bigger, is associated with blackness, especially black women, and that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized, and this has gone back for centuries and centuries. All systems of oppression, capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America and rules every sector and aspect of our society.
Can I ask everybody just a simple question? When are we gonna stop with this body positivity movement? You can look at any movement, whether it's social justice, left wing, right wing, whatever group you want to call it. There is no group that is so self-entitled yet always wants everybody to bitch and moan about them other than the body positivity movement. It's a group of people who you think the entire goal is to say, hey, whether if I'm fat, whether if I'm skinny, whether if I got muscles, whether if I'm just scrawny, I love my body. The problem is, these people try so hard to make everybody feel bad about looking themselves in the mirror and saying, I want to fix myself. I want to improve my body because it's my body. I have to wake up and live this life in this body. And I want to lose weight, and I want to get some motivation on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram. If somebody were to see that, and if they were white, realizing that, oh, well, I don't want to come off like I hate black people because I want to be skinny, you do realize there are fat white people and fat black people. And some people love being fat. Some people love being skinny. Some people who are fat want to be thinner for their own health and their own benefit and whatever other reasons that are their reasons, because you can't control everybody. That weird guilt trip y'all want to do where it's, oh, well, I'm this way, and anyone who's like me in this way and you want to change, you're offending me, you're oppressing me, you make me feel like I don't belong, and how dare you do all these things. Periodic reminder that treating and preventing obesity actually means trying to conversion therapy fat people into becoming thin people, despite zero evidence this being remotely possible.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait a minute. I ain't never seen that one before. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Treating and preventing obesity actually means trying to conversion therapy fat people into becoming thin people despite zero evidence this is remotely impossible. Where do these people come from? What does this mean? Bro, it's just unhealthy. unhealthy for you. Being healthy. Okay.
Into becoming thin people despite zero evidence
I
this
never
being
seen that
remotely
before.
possible.
And you wonder why we don't trust these people. It happens every single time.
Oh, I saw this
Every single
before.
time. This is from today. This is from today. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Wasn't fat rep. Was
Right?
Not, was not.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I can't lose weight, but I could become a man? Where's the logic in that? Oh, that doesn't, none of that makes sense. Alright, this video I saw on another channel called Michelle McDaniel After Dark. She is a great channel. She is actually a fitness coach. And boy, does the fat talk community, that's what they call themselves on TikTok, they do not like her. Oh man, she played this video before. They're upset that I guess some chick was big in a movie, but she's not big now. And she started a swimsuit line or a fashion line, and I guess it don't contain the really big sizes like the 4X's and the 3X's. I don't know. That's what this is from. Logic has left the planet. I don't know what's wrong with these people.
Not ever fat rep. Unapologetic. Fat
Also, hi,
actors,
KL. Hi, thank you for
forever
joining us.
And only till the end of time.
Oh,
this is boring.
Diet culture or personal trainers say take progress photos to stay on track. What they're actually doing is perpetuating the idea, lie, that us humans are healthier when we are smaller, which is simply not true. These transformation photos also demonize the before photo as someone that is not good enough just as they are. What does this content say about somebody that looks like the before photo? It says you are not good enough as you are, and I had to go to extreme lengths to not look like you, and I'm being celebrated for that. Piggybacking onto fat phobia and body shaming. This content also regularly focuses around women, that a woman's primary focus in life should be to take up as little space as possible. Masked as determination or discipline.
What are they
Lastly,
talking
these photos
about?
belittle exercise simply down to a weight loss tool, but it is so much more than that.
So if you can show me someone who goes to the gym and like
Is that true? The VA has weight loss and exercise programs for no cost to those that can join the VA. That's actually amazing. I didn't know that. But then why would I know that? Look at me. Why would I know that? That's actually really good though. At least the exercise program, because I can still use that though. Y'all know me, I'm about spending no money. So if I can get it for free, I'll take it. Aw, thank you, KL. I appreciate that. Like I told you, your comments always make me smile. You're such a positive person. I really do appreciate that. Because if you guys haven't noticed, I run a Christian channel, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I also run a conservative channel. And boy, do I get a lot of hate comments on that aspect. Oh, yes, I love when the positive ones come in. So thank you, I appreciate it. Jorilax, what's up, Jorilax? Thank you for joining. Tyre, you're in one and have yoga at your, ooh, that sounds nice. So now I gotta look into some things. Now that you done mentioned this, I have some research to do.
works out and like cares a lot about like their health, who doesn't have orthorexia or some other form of eating disorder, or who doesn't like do this because of like deep-rooted internalized fat phobia.
Hold on, what's orthorexia? Okay, hold on. I gotta look this up real quick. I do this when I watch videos on my own. Orthorexia? Yeah, what's the definition of this? And kitty cat, what do you want? I might actually have to grab him now that I paused this video. An obsession with eating foods that one considers healthy. Well, what's wrong with that? That sounds perfectly fine to me. An obsession with eating foods that sounds like a vegan. Does that not sound like a vegan? Because all they do is eat healthy. Okay, well, I'm thinking this is like another term of anorexia or something, but nope. Ortho, let me get my cat real quick. He just banging on this door like I can't, and he's just screaming. I know, I hear you. I know, come here. Look, I'm in the middle of typing. Look, you have to watch this video with me. You understand that, right? You gotta watch this video with me. Give me my hand. Thank you. All right, we gotta get back to
phobia and just like hatred for fat people and disgust for fat people, then I will believe that health culture, like being healthy, isn't always bad. But until I find that person, until I find someone who goes,
no, this not Admiral Dewey. That was the guy who donated the $2 to get him treats. His name is Trunks. Admiral Dewey that would be a funny name for an animal though. And you know, if you're in here, Admiral Dewey, I'm not knocking your name, man. I'll just
the gym and like cares about their fucking fitness and whatever, and doesn't hate fat people, doesn't equate fitness to health, and doesn't have an eating disorder that they pretend is just like gains.
It's cool.
Then I'll change my mind. This is all to say that I think gym culture, diet culture, health culture, fitness culture is inherently fat phobic, ableist, and like capitalism, like very capitalist. Very
ableist and capitalism? What is she talking about? Y'all know how many disabled people actually work out in the gym? Ableist? And then capitalist? You can work out at home for free. Tyree just said we could work out for free with the VA. What is they talking about? We are struggling. Yeah, we are. It's messed up.
I prove to you why white people are the reason I'm fat today.
I did. Oh no. One of my older videos, I did a video on her. She links being fat to racism. So, essentially, it is the white man's fault that she big. I swear on everything she about to say that. Mo fire stop. Yo, y'all are funny. Honestly, yeah, I have to go up my stairs a bazillion times because that's where my editing computer is at. So like, I be up and down nonstop while exporting and stuff. Like,
if white people didn't go looking for spices, then various sea routes to Indian subcontinent and Africa and other places of the world would not get discovered. And if they didn't get discovered, then East India Company would never come to Indian subcontinent. And if they didn't come, then the fertility of the land would not get destroyed because they forced us to cultivate tobacco and dyes and opioid, things like that, and that destroyed the fertility of my country. And then if that didn't happen, and if they didn't exploit and extract resources until my ancestors were left with nothing to eat, we wouldn't move to this grain-heavy, very little nutritious diet that we have today. Also, if white people didn't come to the Indian subcontinent, then my ancestors would not go through 50 small, medium, large famines in a period of 200 years.
I promise you, I had the same reaction when I first saw this video. I'm telling you.
That's a lot. And in 1943, nearly 3 million people would not have died due to starvation and malnutrition. And if that didn't happen, then this entire place and the people of this place would not adapt to survive on lower calories. We also wouldn't biologically be programmed to hold on to more fat because my genes they always think, okay, you're gonna die. At some point, there's gonna be a famine, you will not have food, and you're gonna die. I would also not be prone to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart diseases, and all that other things. So yeah, white people is the reason why I can't lose weight.
Yes.
Figured that this question would
Y'all heard that? White folks. It's your fault she's fat. Your fault. You forced that food into her mouth. You held her down and said, nah, keep eating. Keep eating. You just kept shoveling in her face. Your fault, white people. How dare y'all? See, this is why the POCs and the black indigenous people don't like y'all. Because you forcing us to be fat now. But also, if we go back to the beginning of this video, that light-skinned lady said it's racist to be skinny. So I don't know what they want no more. I don't know what they want.
probably come up sometime soon, just because of the video and the topics that I cover. But let's break this one down. So, intentional weight loss. So you purposely saying, I want to lose 20 pounds is fat phobic. And you might be like, what? Oh my goodness. I'm not trying to be fat phobic, but you are. You're being fat phobic to yourself. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? It's probably to fit into something smaller. It's probably so people treat you better. It's probably for all the reasons that fat folks are shamed simply for being fat. So by continuing to perpetuate that, right, seeking intentional weight loss, we are contributing to our fat phobic society. So that's why intentional weight loss is fat phobic.
No, fatty, you need to realize everybody doesn't care about you. Everybody's not fixated on doing anything.
Hold on, to come in, he's like, no, fatty. I wasn't expecting him to come in like that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know, right? You just want to live longer, less pain, be healthier. What's so wrong with that? What's so wrong with that? Also, Nikki, it's your fault. Shoving French fries down our throats because you're white. This is your fault we're fat.
Society. So that's why intentional weight loss is fat phobic.
No, fatty, you need to realize everybody doesn't care about you. Everybody's not fixated on doing anything with you. They want to do things for themselves. And to sit there and say being thick and being curvaceous is black exclusive is not true when everybody with money is going by BBL. Term obese is a slur, violent, dehumanizing. It's anti-black. How?
What?
Term to describe somebody who is drastically overweight. Would you like for the doctor to walk in, hold your doughy arm, and say, oh, look at all this pancake batter, you fat, 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 fat?
Well, Leon, now that you mention it, they do think the BMI charts, having to look at it, is very dehumanizing when they go to the doctor office, and they think it's violence towards them. So, hey, you're not far off, my man.
No, it's a medical term. And if you're truly offended by it, the only way I can explain that to you is if you are indeed obese. The term obese.
What's wrong with wanting to look good? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I guess we racist now. That's what they saying. We racist now. I don't even know how to feel about half of myself at this moment. I just hate half of me. I just can't take it no more. My half of me is disgusted with the other half.
Is a slur because it's used to dehumanize us and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description.
Your
it's an
feelings are
outdated
hurt.
term that does more harm than good, and as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. You're fat, you're obese, and it's your life. If you love it, perfectly fine. I got no problems with it. But we're not going to eradicate a word used in the medical field to describe
clapping
somebody
stopped
who
you?
is
Good.
drastically over the weight limit because, oh, your feelings are hurt. You so sad. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Why are you complaining? And also demonizing people and calling them racist for losing weight. Mind your business, mind your manners, and enjoy your life. Whether if you're skinny, strong, fat, tall,
I
short,
agree with
that's
that.
all you really got to do. And if you want to step into other people's lives, you can do that. You're going to have to deal with the consequence of being told to shut the ever-loving hell up. You doing things for your health? Nah, it's racist. You wanting to lose weight just so you can feel better about yourself? Racist. You wanting to be comfortable in your body because you grew up with it, you ate food, you didn't work out, and now you're saying, whether if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you want to take the chance on your life so that you could be healthy? Nah, it's nothing but racism. And you're always going to be somebody who's anti-black because you're not sitting in all that ball of disease and diabetes and dying from obesity, right? Dumb. That woman's dumb, and anybody who's advocated for that, whether if you're saying, oh, well, you doing that offends me, or if you're getting mad that a celebrity loses weight and you feel underrepresented or not represented at all, you sound dumb, and your lack of self-confidence in your life has nothing to do with the rest of us. Be gone.
Whew. That was a good video, but man, them people are crazy. Those people are super crazy. Ugh. Oh, man. How many skinny people want to be fat? Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Nikki, because in my Clown World video, apparently there was a woman that purposely went up to 311 pounds to show that people can be beautiful at any size, and that just didn't sit well at all. All right, thank you for coming through, KF. I appreciate you. Like I told you, you're a very positive person. I just appreciate that. And I hope you have a wonderful night. But that was a good video. That was a good video. Hold on. Let me make sure I save this because I'm going to have to pull this later for when I do all this. All right. Man, it's 8:15 already. Time been flying. Time has been flying like crazy. Before I start this next video, I'm going to kick my cat back out because all he really wants, he just wants to lay in my lap for a minute, purr, and then bite my arm, and then he good. So, like, let me get him back up out of here, and then I'll play a video for y'all. So, you gotta get this off. All right, say bye. You had your little fun for 5 minutes. Oh, you just being nosy now. You ain't even looking at the camera. What? You rude, bro. You rude. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Please stop banging on my door. I'll see you in a little bit. You don't want to be fat, but sitting at a desk makes it easier. Yeah, sitting at a desk, I forgot the medical term for it, but it like stiffens up your joints. That's why they made the desks that go like up and down so you can stand at them and stuff. The standing desk. We gonna act like I didn't have that moment. But here's another good one. We gonna do another Pearly Things video, but this one is from Pearl. The other one was from Jessie Lee Peterson. This one, she was in Miami, like over like the holiday. I don't know if she's still there or not, but she did like a lot of collaborations with people while she was down there. And she was on Valuetainment's podcast, like, I guess daily at this point, because she's in a lot of their video clips. So in this one, she was on when Destiny was on. If you don't know who that is, he's a liberal YouTuber that also debates people. And once you see him, you're going to be like, oh yeah, he looks like a lib. But let's hop into this video. And they're actually debating on going to college, which we'll see what they got to say.
Real quick, because I don't feel it begins. It begins.
So real quick, the guy right here with the blue hair, that's Destiny. So he's the liberal debater that has a YouTube channel. I don't agree with his views all the time, but as far as like YouTube channels go, it's okay. I actually watch it sometimes. It's alright. It's okay.
He's looking for that.
I got a 98% on my extrovert test, okay? So I'm very extroverted. Be careful.
I think college is overrated for the vast majority of majors. This is coming from someone who went to a really good school and had a scholarship for it. All my friends who I've talked to who graduate from college, most of them are miserable with their jobs. I think if you're doing STEM, you're doing science, then yeah, go to college. But for most majors, I think college is overrated, and it's not going to get you the kind of lifestyle that you think it's going to get you. I think the best advice is to find a skill that people need. So for example, I have a friend who works at Trader Joe's, but he does like, helps me out and takes videos with me. So I got him to start a photography business, right? Because people need photo shoots. Like a lot of people have really bad photos, right? So his whole angle is going to be taking photos for people's Tinders. So I think anyone can find a little niche and get really good at something that people need, people desire. I think that for some people, again, if you're doing STEM, go to college. For everything else, I think it's kind of a waste of time.
I agree with that. Everything he said, I agree with it. Is that Pearl? Yeah, she was the female on the panel. But, yeah, I know too many people that went to college and they have, like, such a basic degree in literally nothing. So, like, if somebody gets, like, what is it called? Like, your business administration degree. You know how many people I know that have that and they have, like, the most basic jobs in the world where it's like, yo, you could have got this job without that degree. Like, why? And now you're, like, $50,000, $60,000 in debt for that sheet of paper, and you making what I'm making. That's kind of crazy. So I agree with them.
You're about to open up a can of whoop ass right now.
Yeah,
for my friend
I'm going to
Destiny.
disagree with you, and Adam's going to catch some bullets on the side. Okay. When you tune into these kinds of shows and you get advice for how to manage your finance to be successful, this advice is being applied to like the top 1% of people. For most people, it doesn't matter, right? When I was bringing in a carpet cleaner, there is no like invest in yourself or figure out the skill set that you have to like do things that are better than other people. Most people just don't have the types of skills naturally in areas that are in ultra high demand. If you did, most people could be successful or be in these positions. But for every one person you see that was able to start a YouTube business, there's a million people behind him that tried and failed miserably. The reason why I like college is because college is just a very safe and secure path to an almost guaranteed end goal where you have like some sort of job that's paying you like a decent amount of money, assuming you don't do
that's false.
Like going to out-of-state schools, paying tuition and board for like a random arts degree that's not going to pay you anything, assuming you're not coming from a wealthy family. I just like college because it puts you on a solid path. If there are things that you feel like you have an aptitude for that you can do better, like if you're incredibly entertaining, if you've got a skill set that's high in demand in certain industries, then yeah, sure, like try there. But for the vast majority of people listening, as much as we talk about like hustle culture and drop shipping and all that shit, like there'll be people that I see online talk about having like 7 streams of like fucking revenue, and they're making like $22 a month on each of them. Like these people are busting their ass, working all day, reading white papers they can't understand about crypto that they're going to go broke on, trying to drop ship on the side and selling like 52 cents of shit on Amazon, and that's just the reality for most people. So yeah, I like the solid, reliable path, assuming you don't have another skill that you can lean into.
What do you?
But how did it? Wait a minute. How did it turn into? I think you should only go to school for this thing. I think it's not good for anything else. And then he just broke out hustle culture. He's just like, I know people who sit around at home with crypto all day making $22. College is safe. It's like, bro, college is not safe. You know how many people I know with master's degrees that literally just work in the most basic jobs in the world? Where like you don't need a degree to walk in and get these jobs. Work in like factories and warehouses. That was a waste of money. Why did you go get that? Like that. College isn't safe. It's not guaranteed. It's a gamble. You're hoping that what you're paying for pays off in the end. And that's why you need to get a certain degree where you just know like, hey, I have a good chance of getting up out of here and making a good amount of money so I could pay this debt back and live a good life and yada, yada, yada. You said your oldest son went, he's a used car salesman. What did he go to college for? Like, what did he get the degree in? U.S. government hires my $55K a year for a bachelor's. I got it with no degree because I did the job in the service. Yeah, my friend's little sister, she has like a good government job, but she was also in the Navy for like a while. The business degree? That's funny. I just used that as an example. I'm sorry. You have your MA and you're glad you have it, but you could have done better without it. That's an interesting take. That is. See, I think the last job I ever had is probably the best job I ever had. But everything prior up to that was just average, regular jobs. And the people I used to work with, I worked with many of people, don't matter age, right? Age is all varied. And they all were just like, oh yeah, I went to college and I had my degree in such and such. But yet they right next to me making $9 an hour putting clothes on a rack. And I'm just like, yo, how did you get here? You know? You talk to enough people and you start hearing their stories, it's just like, oh, well, I did this in college. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense. You're working at this department store. You did this in college. So you got the degree. Why are you still here? It's been like 20 years. I don't know. I just never left. And I look at people like that and I just be like, well, why did you go get that? What was the point? Like, why did you go get that degree if that was like... If you was just gonna stay here, I don't get that at all. I don't know. I feel like if you go to college, there has to be some sort of end goal, which is why, like the first guy said, if you're in STEM, that makes a lot of sense to go to college for that. Because you need some sort of degree. I know they talk about coding boot camps. Unless you are like really good at picking up a lot of stuff on your own, you got to go to school for that. And even when you're done with the camp, you still got to get like a bunch of certifications and stuff. So you might as well go the school route because while getting the degree, you get your certifications and stuff along the way. So it's like, it's just better to go to college instead of going the coding route. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that.
Most people, sorry.
Do you agree that some majors are useless? I'm just
curious.
curious.
No major is useless. Some majors don't make money, but people talk about useless majors like the only point of college is to make money.
Right.
Like,
It comes down to ROI.
Yeah, so
which people don't understand, of course.
ROI, but when we talk about ROI, the return part there of that investment, the return can be cultural. We need art majors, we need history majors, we need English majors. It's an important part of having a functioning society. College shouldn't just be a jobs training program. There should be other things that we learn and we have like exemplified in society as well, I think.
Yeah, if you're going there purely for the education factor and you just want to get like an education.
Okay, that's fine. Like, if that's what you're going for and you want to go into that field. Because I don't think, like, in the same breath, it's like if you're going, not everybody going to be a millionaire, right? But if that is your goal, you can achieve that with an average job. I done did videos on that before, but I think he's kind of just looking at it like, you expect everybody to get rich when they get a degree. It's like, no, there are some useless degrees out there because it does come down to return on investment. But how many people do we know, let's say the art degree, how many people go get that degree and actually do something in the art field? I don't need you to be a millionaire in the art field, but like, what are you doing specifically in the art field that you went and got your degree for? Because I don't work, like I said, I don't work with a lot of people. We end up doing the same thing at a job that has nothing to do with that, which is wild. Oh, y'all, hold on. I'm missing a lot in here. I went for marriage and family therapy, but then they said I couldn't treat gender dysphoria the way it needs to be treated, so I left. I can't condone insanity. Look. Kudos to you for leaving. You should have left. You should have left. They're pushing that on Jordan Peterson now in Canada. They said everybody with that doctor's degree has to get reprogrammed and changed for all the crazy gender crap that's going on now, and he refused. He's like, I'm not doing that. And they was talking about taking away his credentials or something. It's insane. It's insane. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Going to a tech school for contracting jobs like electrician, plumber. Oh, that's a why am I having a brain fart right now? I know trade jobs. Okay, whew. I kicked back on in the right time. Trade jobs make a lot of money. I totally condone anybody that wants to go do stuff like that. Trade jobs is where it's at. Yeah, you can't use your degree now, but that's because you chose to do the right thing. That's completely different. What history they write their own. I agree with that. Sorry, I got an art degree. Oh. But see, hold on, I didn't say it was useless. I'm just saying, if you get that, are you doing something in the art field? even if it's like something on your own, because I've done a video on here before where a woman was in vet school, but she was also really good at art, so she had that too, and it morphed into her doing stuff on her own, like on the weekends. Yeah, trade school is definitely where it's at. That's what my boyfriend went through. He became a truck driver. So he making the big money, the good money. We do need artists. My one friend, she's actually an artist, and that's what she does for a living. She went to art school, I guess in Brooklyn. So she didn't go to a normal elementary and middle school and high school like I did. Apparently, they have art schools there that you can start off in at a very young age. So she spent her whole life in an art school. I didn't even know you could do that. But then again, I am not an artist, so makes sense why I wouldn't be in an art school. But she was like in an art school her whole life and came out, and now that's literally all she does for a living is like painting stuff. But $20K for 2 years? Ooh. That's a lot. You know what? I'm a cheapskate, so to me that's a lot. But in the grand scheme of things of a degree, I guess that's normal. I guess that's normal nowadays. That's still a lot though. That's what my friends kicked out for their weddings, and I was just like, y'all are crazy.
And sure, but most people aren't doing it. They're doing it because they want to get a job. And most of the people, like the people who follow, like, I don't know, marketing majors or accounting majors, they all pretty much hate their jobs. Like, none of them are really happy from what I've seen.
Yeah, but I mean, if they wouldn't have gone to school, they're going to be happy anyway. Like, what I mean, it's not like if they would have like flunked school or not done it. They're like, oh, I'm so much happier working at Wendy's or whatever.
I mean, I agree with you that like there's a lot of glorified things like drop shipping that probably are not for the average person.
I don't know. You might have somebody happy working at Wendy's. There was a story, a guy, I forgot the name of the rock band, but he got so tired of living that life, he went down to a Hot Topic. Like, he quit the band, went to the Hot Topic near, like, whatever mall was near his town that he lived in, and he applied to work there, and he was just so much happier. He was just like, no, I do not care about doing none of this no more. I just want to be here. I want an average job. Some people are just happy with that. That's why I said not everybody got to be a millionaire, but there has to be some return on investment for that degree, because degrees are expensive. That back in 99? Ooh, that sounds expensive for back then. Oh. Now it's go to college or buy a house. Facts. Blockbuster Video is the best job. Yeah. Blockbuster was awesome. I ain't never worked there because they pretty much became obsolete by the time I was ready to get a job. But I do remember going there when I was younger, though. Blockbuster was where it was at.
There's little things you can do, like video editing. If you can learn video editing, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who will hire you.
No, stop. I'm going to hold you guys to this. How many people, realistically, the percentage of people listening right now could make money video editing on YouTube? It's like less than 1%.
Right here.
If there's a good video editor, you email me.
Right here, because I did it for a good period of time when I had a media company. It's so easy. Like, what he's saying isn't far-fetched. Anybody can learn how to edit videos. It's so simple.
Give you a job.
Yeah, but the problem is how much money can that person make?
No, I actually disagree.
You can make enough to pay your bills.
Video editing, like I had, like a lot of my contractors didn't know like literally anything about video editing, and we trained them.
And you had to train them.
These are people in third world countries with no skills.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to say you're hiring people in India to video edit, which makes it even harder for the average person listening to make money video editing. So if you want to pay somebody like $5 or $20 to edit a video, for the people listening at home, that's even more difficult for you.
The guy.
Okay, look, bro. Like, Pearl's videos don't take a lot to edit. She does sit down talks with people and reactions from time to time with Aunt Jenny. Like, it's literally what I do. Not a lot of editing goes into these videos. Yes, you can train people to do that. That's why you have sites like Fiverr. You know what you're getting for like $5, okay? Like, that's what it is. You want actual good editing with all the flashy cuts and moves and stuff. I used to do that too. And we charge for it. You gonna pay up for stuff like that. And there's people out there that will pay you for that. There's companies that want commercials and everything else. They will pay you for that. Destiny don't know. He just be talking to be talking.
in Nigeria makes roughly 10K a month editing.
10K a month?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so
For
if you're a Nigerian you're listening, then I guess the
Bro,
I can do that for you.
There's a dude in
people are
Nigeria making
incompetent.
10K a month. That's the king of Nigeria.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
case.
I know. No, he because he just does so much. He started hiring his friends like he did. Yeah.
Because the reality is,
There's
as somebody that's hired video editors, even of the majority of video editors that know how to edit videos and apply to like positions to work for me, most of these people aren't even that good. So the average viewer at home is not going to pick up video editing unless you've got like an aptitude for it. But in that case, you're already.
I promise you, learn basic video editing, offer it as a package on sites like Fiverr and crap. I promise you, you're gonna make money. You're gonna make a couple $1,000 a month. I would know. That is literally how we started out before we branched off of that. Destiny don't know what he's talking about. Whatever we do, oh, this is good. This is good. Whatever we do, do it all for the glory of Christ. Even at Wendy's, cleaning toilets, driving cabs, running the company, you do it for him. I agree with that. Because once it all just becomes money, 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 that's when things start going downhill. It has to be more than that. My job is to rewind movies and know movies and video games. That sounds like a dope job, though. It just sounds like you get to kick it and watch movies and rewind stuff all day. And then they had the little section where you can, like, play the video games. I just know that had to be a cool job. I just know. Nikki, you still have a VCR? Why? Why do you still have a VCR, Nikki? No, your comment is going on stream. I want everybody to know that you said that. Why do you still have a VCR? They don't even sell cassette tapes anymore. You're the person, okay, so when I had my resale business and I would find cassette tapes still like sealed up, I used to like get those from Goodwill for like 50 cents, 99 cents, and then I'd resell them for like $20 and stuff. So y'all was the people buying them. Y'all was the people buying those cassette tapes because I'm like, who's buying these things? Oh, tirade. Nope, your comment going up too. Everybody needs to see who's saying this. Because y'all got to remember, I clip these for YouTube now. Oh, you still got your collection? I can't be too mad. My mom had hers for like the longest, but now she's all digital. But no, I had to put y'all up there. Y'all got the comment. What does Abby and Preach call it? The pin of shame. Y'all got the comment of shame.
Already like a very slim minority.
Okay,
of people.
can I just kind of like?
It's your show. You can do whatever you want.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tighten
do
this
it.
up and put the circle together. Everyone has a point here because what we're talking about is essentially you got to figure out what's right for you.
Facts.
The problem is that we all have to make these life decisions at 18. So what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? It's like, dude, I don't know. I'm 18. I'm just trying to get laid. Okay, but the problem is, what major you're gonna pick? Where are you gonna go to? ROI. What the hell is ROI? I can barely even spell, and I gotta spell ROI.
You got The Sopranos on tape? My dad did too. He was like a huge Sopranos fan.
What you said exactly was, yeah, well, you need music majors, you need people. This is the same argument that people make where they're like, you tell Adam, you tell people to save that money, save that money. We need to spend money so the economy stays on. I'm like, oh, so now it's your fucking job to keep the economy alive? No, it's your job to keep your economy alive. So yes, I do agree we need music majors and theater majors and art majors and majors that don't pay shit. But do you want to be dead broke because you're contributing to society? I don't know about that.
Okay, wait, hold on. It's such a dumb straw man. If you're broke as fuck, you come from a broke family, you shouldn't be going to school to be a PhD history major, right? Obviously, I agree with that. But I'm saying, like, for people from middle-class families that want to go to school and do, like, other things like history and art, I just don't like that there's this concept of, like, a worthless degree. And it's like knowledge and education and, like, the expansion of, like, our whole understanding of the world, I think is important, even in ways that don't make a lot of money. But I'm not going to tell...
I don't know. I think gender studies is a worthless degree.
I'm not going to tell a kid from the project to go to be an English major.
Would you agree that some majors don't have a good ROI?
You got the hold on. You got the first week of Power Rangers on VHS. Yo, that's fire. That's fire. Wait a minute. That's dope. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. I was so sad when Jason David Frank died. I did a video on it, but I was so upset. I cried. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't cry in the video because I told myself I was never gonna cry on a video on YouTube. But I definitely cried outside of that video. It was rough. It was rough. What did you say, Nikki? Wait a minute. No, your comment about to go up now. Lesbian dance theory is a great degree. Make you lots of money. I bet it does nowadays. I bet it does. You know what they should make a degree of? The woman that charges $800 an hour to teach millennials how to talk on the phone because they're scared to talk on the phone. I want to take that course, and that's going to be the new business.
If you're only measuring return in terms of income, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would say
I
I have a
like we
worthless degree. I went to BU Business School. I have a marketing degree. It's been completely worthless for my career.
Yeah, mine's been worthless too.
But
all the people I know have worthless degrees.
We're saying two separate things, and they can both be valid. What he's saying is, hey,
No.
if you go to school, hear me out. If you go to school and you get a degree, there's going to be some merit in that. There's going to, even if you don't kill it and make a lot of money and have debt, you're still contributing to society. You're still going to have a job. You're going to have all that. And then the other position is like, yeah, well, the reason that you're going to school and taking out college loans and getting degrees is so you can make more money in life. If not, just don't go to college. So like, it's kind of two sides of the same coin. Does that make sense?
I don't know. The only merit that's been to my degree is the fact that I got to party a lot in college. That's the only merit I have.
You can
My
say
marketing
that.
That doesn't help.
The marketing degree I have.
That don't help with the
completely worthless
arguments.
For the marketing of my business. I have learned more watching YouTube videos about marketing than I did during 4 years in college, and I actually had good grades. And I like A's then.
100% agree.
But
you can
again,
learn
hold
more
on. That's
on
going to
YouTube
apply. That's going to
than
apply
in
to a
class.
specific subset of people that you see on stage. Like the people that can't learn aren't making it up here. They're at home earning nothing, trying to make it online, doing some crazy side hustle, like following Instagram stories. Most people can't make it in the YouTube world. Most people can't self-teach. If they could, schools wouldn't exist.
Yeah, well,
right?
one of the things I always
There'd be
say
no
is
such thing as tutors.
One of the things I always say is most people are most people.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
There's
sure.
very few A students. There's very few F students. Most people are in between. For
That's
every
facts.
fucking valedictorian, there's another idiot that didn't show up to class. Everyone is kind of in between. It's your.
Hold on. You said gender studies is the new underwater basket weaving degree. You watch Anton Daniels. You have to watch him if you say that. Because he is the only other person on YouTube I have ever heard say that. You have to also watch him. You have to. That's why the Amish are mad rich. They are, hold on, okay, so the Amish community, because they really don't do technology or anything. What they must do now, because when I see the ones that do come into the city to shop at Walmart and stuff, they got cell phones and everything. Outside of that, it's crazy how they turn their whole little farm and their area to now it's like they got these big shops where you could just buy the cheese and the jams and the butters, and they done turned into a whole thing. It was like, oh, people like coming out here to get stuff. Run it. We're going to make a ton of money. We're going to make a ton of money off of all of them.
Your job to improve yourself. What's the term that they talk about learning on yourself? Autodidactic?
Autodidactic or something,
What is
yeah.
that exactly? When you could just learn on your own? It's exactly what you could do on YouTube. I think YouTube is one of the best inventions ever. If you are a autodidact and you're willing to improve by yourself and you want to just dedicate days, months, years of your life learning, oh my God, the things you could do on YouTube and in Google. Back in the day, you're 32?
34.
34. You got great skin though.
Thank
That's what
you
it
so
is.
much.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
33. You're 26.
yeah.
Nat's still 21 somehow.
You just turned 16.
But back in the day, what we used to have
Encyclopedia
encyclopedias,
Britannica and
the
shit.
card catalogs. You young kids have no I feel like I sound like an 80-year-old man right now. You have no idea how hard it was. You could just Google something, YouTube something, Instacart something, Uber something. Everything's at the tip of your
Sure,
finger.
but I think it's important to recognize that, like, we say that, like, all the information is available on the internet. If people could learn on their own, we would have the fucking smartest society in the world right now. Everybody would be learning
People
everything.
are
on it.
lazy.
Most people are most
Which is why most people need teachers and colleges.
Most
to
people
guide
are
the
gonna be lazy
yeah.
in college.
I'd also like to offer, I know you said, as many of you know.
Oh, that's how they ended? Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I don't expect everybody to be rich. And there are people that genuinely love working, like, regular jobs. It's just a few people I've worked with throughout my life. I just don't understand when they get certain degrees, especially when you start going for masters and stuff, and then you're ended up where I am. And you talk to them, it's like, well, how did you get here? I don't know. I just kind of stayed here once I started in college. It's like, why did you keep going for these other degrees? What was the point in that? The problem is Western universities are largely leftist indoctrination centers. That's my issue. Yeah, I agree with you that it's crazy. I think it was always like that, but it's just so rampant now. It's insane. Because I feel like it's way worse than when I was in college. Oh, the Amish, they use cell phones for jobs. They go to school till 8th grade, but they work all their lives. By the age of 18, those kids have 50 to 80K of their own money. What? Is that how that works? That's crazy. Okay, also the cell phone thing. I was curious about that because I would always see them have it. Especially, what's here? It's not called Cedar Point anymore. Six Flags. When I would see them, no, it is Cedar. It didn't flip-flop. Whatever is around me now. Whatever amusement park is around me now. I used to see them playing on like their cell phones while waiting in line to get on rides and stuff. And I was just like, I thought y'all couldn't have technology. What's going on with that? Most college professors are left-leaning and many are atheists. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with all that. And then universities here in America were started by Christians. They believe that the pursuit of truth was impossible without knowing God. That I do believe, because how everything was started out from that Bryson Gray video I dropped earlier. He did state that. He said when they wrote the Constitution, they wrote it for morally and religious people. So I do believe that it was started by Christians. So it is Cedar Point now, okay. Because I know at one point it was Six Flags. I ain't been down there in forever. But yeah, that is in Sandusky. Okay. I haven't been there in years. I'm just like, which one is it again? Because I've been to both growing up. It used to be Geauga Lake. And then, yeah, it was Geauga Lake. And then Six Flags. And now it's Cedar Point. Okay. Thank you for that. You jogging my memory. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, what's the... this would be a good video. This is super long, but I said I was gonna go past 9, so it don't matter. All right, this video is from it's Jesse Lee Peterson, but it's the actual Jesse Lee Peterson, not that short one we had with Pearly Things. It's called. It says, "Is God a woman? Minister discusses feminist theology." It says it only goes for 35 minutes, so I'm assuming she ran at some point. I'm assuming. But let's hop into let me skip the intro first so we can just go straight into as soon as it starts. Because I already know this is about to be crazy. She's going to say some stuff that's probably going to make all of us mad.
For being with me. Does feminism have a place in the Christian church? I have with me Reverend Ann Heyman, pastor of St. Paul Presbyterian Church in Los Angeles, California.
All right, we already off on the wrong foot because all of this, is too much. Here, we'll do this, and then we'll do a baby one. No, y'all can see it. It don't matter. We already off on the wrong foot because it says she a pastor, and now she's a feminist, and now she's a pro-choice advocate. All of those things don't align with anything.
Heyman, pastor of St. Paul Presbyterian Church in Los Angeles, California, and the Religious Coalition for Reproductive Choice. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for
I
asking
appreciate
me.
you for being here. First, do you believe that human beings, that we are in a fallen state?
Yes and no. I mean, I think we could do better. Absolutely. I don't think it's hopeless. I'm encouraged, although these last few weeks have been pretty rough for the human the human state. We've hit in my lifetime probably an all-time low.
So when you say yes and no, it's either yes or no.
Well, we sin and we sin boldly, but we're forgiven. And I guess I bank more heavily on our ability to seek and get forgiveness than I do on the fact that we don't always do what God expects of us.
What is the fallen state?
Well, I was going to ask you that question because I'm not quite sure what your image of that is.
Right.
All right, real quick, before we get into this, because I've been doing a lot of I do Bible studies daily anyways, but I've been doing them under recently. I still do them with my groups, but now there's like a new one I'm doing in. Yeah, I know. We gonna get into it. So, somebody had brought something up from a book I haven't read yet. I wish I could remember the books and the chapters and all that. But they mentioned there's different types of sins. So, once you are saved under God, there is scripture to go with it too. But essentially, there's sin that like we know it's gonna happen, and then there's sin that kills you. Like there's sin that you can die from. So for example, the homosexuality thing, I guess that would be a sin that, like the gay pastor talking about, I believe in Jesus and I read my Bible and stuff. That would be something where I'm assuming when he dies, he not going this way, he gonna go that way. I'll probably have to read and study more into this, but I heard it earlier in like a discussion they were talking about. Venial versus more. Yes, that. With what she's saying, well, she already wrong on a bunch of stuff. She a big L right now. But what she's saying, the whole, the pro-choice, the feminists, and then when we saw like the gay people on here, are they pretty much gonna be, like when we have the right thinking of what's gonna happen to them in the end? Or is it like, God gonna have to sit down with them and give them one last chance to get it right before just going up? I want to know what y'all thought about that. Because, like I said, I have to read all these chapters. They're in a book I haven't read yet. So I kind of have to, I guess, get to that point to understand it better.
And I'll give my, but kind of, you are a reverend, so I wanted to get your opinion of it. And then I'll follow up on it.
For me, Jesus gave us really high expectations for our behavior. And then he modeled it for us. He showed us how to do it. And I think when we're not in a fallen state, we're living up to his expectations. And when we are in a fallen state, we're not.
And so that fallen state is a falling away from God due to sin?
Yeah.
Due to sin.
Yes.
Is it possible to be born again of God and still sin?
Sure.
How is that?
Well, I don't think that being born again alleviates our capacity for sin.
Why not?
Well, because the invitation that comes with being born again is to follow the divine one, the Holy One, and we will hopefully do that to the best of our ability based on our commitment or the vow or pledge we've taken when we were born again. But I don't think that there's a guarantee that comes with that we're not gonna mess up at some point.
But isn't it true?
All right, I'm assuming you mean 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 10. Hold on. I'm about to pull this up. We about to have a whole session together for a quick second. You said 6, and then 9 to 10, and then I read King James Version, so I'm going to pull that version up. All right, can y'all see this? Okay. All right, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Wait a minute, didn't I just read this? No, this is a different one. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God. Yup. So basically, I looked up the when you put up venial versus mortal sin too, which is this one. I pulled that up on my phone, so I'm just gonna. Oh no, is it gone? Okay, here it is. So it says, mortal sins are grave offenses that sever our friendship with God and consequently cause a loss of sanctifying grace. Anyone dying in a state of mortal sin would suffer eternal separation from God in hell. Venial sins are lesser offenses that injure but do not destroy one's relationship with God. So essentially, I am right then, right? So that gay pastor, that's still a mortal sin though, right? Despite him calling himself a pastor and just, because he's still living that daily, regardless of like what's in the in there, because it says it's defined as a grave action that is committed in full knowledge of its gravity and with the full consent of the sinner's will. So that do mean it's a chance he not going, he gonna go bow, right? Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I understood that correctly, because they were reading from stuff I haven't touched yet. And then it was like an hour-long discussion about it. I just wanted to make sure I was comprehending that correctly. So thank you. I appreciate that. This is why I like doing videos with y'all. This is way better than me doing it by myself, just studying. I would have been sitting here for 30 minutes. I would have had to stop the recording. I would have gotten into all of that. Unrepentant sin, live in sin, come on in Satan's plan. Yeah, I thought that too, because I'm like, if you're still willingly doing something you know you're not supposed to do, it just sounds like you're just being deceived, and you just like, oh, I know I can do whatever. I believe in God. It's okay. And I just, that's the devil talking to them. All right.
True.
At least I know I'm on the right path.
When we are born again of God, we have a brand new nature. We have His nature, right? And His nature is a sinless nature. So sin is no longer part of us.
We diverge quickly here. I don't think that we inherit His sinlessness.
But we become His children once you're born again, right? And so if our Father has a sinless nature, wouldn't we also have one?
Not
because
necessarily.
we have the identity of our Father?
No, because I think we're our own beings, and I have free will. I mean, I can love Jesus till hell freezes over, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to make some mistakes.
But when you are a sinner, Satan is your father, right? You have his nature.
I see sin as more falling short of the expectations that Jesus has set for us, or missing the mark, maybe. I don't think that I necessarily engage with Satan at the point where I make a mistake, no.
But aren't we either children of God or children of Satan?
Ooh.
You're either of your
I don't
father
do the
God.
black and white thing like that.
You're either of your father God or of your father the devil.
No, because I think I can love God just fine and still make mistakes, and it doesn't necessarily put me in Satan's camp at all.
Really?
Hold on. Here's another one. She tripping right now. I don't know what she talking about. But this is what I saw yesterday. This is what made me think of the discussion I had earlier. So this is from 1 John 3:9. Once again, the King James Version. And it says, whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God. So everything she talking about where she just like, oh, I could do whatever I want, blah, blah, she tripping. She tripping hard. I don't know. We know what's going on with her. Deception is the devil, the author of lies, all of that. I'm about to put all this in the video. It is. That's what I was telling people. Pastors get judged the harshest because they should technically know better because they know what they signed up for. Oh, it's a wrap for her. It's a wrap for her.
That's amazing.
Is it?
It's amazing.
Do you minister to men and women?
I do.
You do, and are they mostly black? I know you're in a black community.
I'm currently serving an African American congregation. Yeah.
Oh, so is it 100% black?
Ooh, close.
Oh,
Probably
really?
about 95%.
Men and women?
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And are you surprised?
Amazing.
Amazing.
No, very typical Presbyterian church, really.
Right. Are you surprised that men come and listen to you?
No.
Why not?
They like me.
No, I mean, as a minister.
Well.
But also remember that he also says that if we say we do not sin, we lie and haven't the truth in us. Oh no, I know we technically, even if we aren't, I'm having a lot of brain farts tonight. This is wild. Even if we aren't cognizant of the fact that we are sinning, I know we do sin. It's just our fleshly nature. That's why when you showed me, now we're going to go back up, the venial and mortal sin. Because they know some things are going to just happen and we try our best, but you don't purposely keep living in certain stuff. That's wild. That's, yeah.
Okay, now, how do we address this? I came to a church that already existed to be their interim pastor actually 8 years ago. It's unusual to be an interim pastor for 8 years, but we've been busy. That was a pre-established congregation when I came, and there were men and women and children involved in this congregation. So I just stepped in to be their pastor.
Was it headed up by a man prior to you?
Yes.
It was. So you took a man's
I did.
position there.
I did.
I know I struggle daily, but I try to follow Jesus' example. Until we are out of this flesh, we will struggle. To be unrepentant is my problem with this person, seems to portray herself. Yeah. And you know what I noticed? A lot of the progressive Christians, I know a video I dropped, a few of you were just like, there's no such thing. You either Christian or not. But that's the term they done made for themselves. So I'm just using their term. A lot of them think like this, which is sad. Because if they truly believed what they were reading, man, their afterlife. I guess all we could really do is just pray for them. Because it's just, yeah, it's sad. She doesn't understand this, sadly. Scripture is difficult to understand. She doesn't get it. She needs instruction. Yeah, she does. She does. But it is crazy. It's always, man, it's always the progressive ones. It's always them. It's rarely, it's funny. I follow Bryson Gray on Twitter because he's a conservative Christian rapper. And every day he does biblical Bible study right on his page. He'll ask a question. I swear on everything. It's just pulled straight from scripture. He doesn't ask for context, breakdowns. It's just, is this sentence in the Bible? And it's whatever the sentence is. So how I just read scripture to you, I'm actually go back to it. It is a biblical question of the day. Does the Bible say that whoever is born of God does not commit sin? Every day, majority of the people get it wrong. Because he's not asking for your interpretation. He's not asking for more context. He's not asking for breakdowns. It's just, does the Bible say, and then he adds whatever sentence is in the actual Bible. He'll literally just pull from his Bible and be like, oh, okay, let me go on Google, copy, paste, boom. And he said he does that. He was just like, this is what I'm going to do every day because I want you guys to just actually open the Bible, see it for yourself, and then I want you to read from there and go from there. The amount of people that get this wrong every day and they just want to argue and fight. And then it turns into like a Twitter space where you have like a whole 1 to 2 hour discussion about it. And people still want to argue and fight. And he's just like, is it in the Bible or is it not in the Bible? Well, it is, but it's like there's no buts, okay? Was the sentence in there? It's just, it's crazy. It's super crazy. Yeah, that's why we need to be taught solid theology. The Holy Spirit, if you pray to it, it'll guide you. It'll give you guidance and tell you what you need to know. Yeah, you pray and put it in God's hands. Yeah, she just lost. I don't know who taught her, but then again, that gay pastor that was on here, he claimed he went to theology school, and you would never know. You would never know. Because in that video, I was like, bro, you just peed away all your school money. You just peed all that away. Yeah, we misinterpret and take it out of context. Yeah, I'm telling you. Nikki, you said that before on one of my other videos.
Were you called
they
to
not
become
listening.
a minister, or did you go to school for it?
Both.
Both. And who called you?
Oh, God called me.
And God did. And how do you know he called you?
I was in college, and I was trying to decide what I was going to do after I graduated. And there was a really strong sense that God wanted me to be a minister. There was really no, and I had been doing that pretty much all along. But I went to my pastor, and I said, I'm thinking about going to seminary. And he said, well, if you want to go for your own edification, fine, go ahead, but don't expect to be a pastor because churches don't like women ministers. I did go to seminary
W pastor. Good job, my guy, good job. And then she took that and was like, oh, really? I can't be a pastor? Watch. And she just went against everything that was taught.
And I've been employed as a pastor since 1978. So, and I've done all kinds of different ministries. But and actually, when I got to seminary in 1975, probably a third to a half of my class was women. So I was kind of on that cusp of.
If God called you, why did you have to go to a seminary?
I am a student of the Word, and I wanted to study everything I possibly could, primarily because I think the Bible has been used so extensively historically against women, minorities, category other, and I wanted to know how. Well, I knew how it impacted me. I wanted to know what I could do to possibly make that better or different.
So you didn't trust that God who called you would also prepare, teach you, and give you what to say and do?
I don't know what God was thinking. I spent 28 years living with prostitutes here in Los Angeles. And that was at God's behest.
Wait a minute.
Now, he had a great plan. It worked.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You was living with who for 28 years? We gotta run that back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We all say we have the Holy Spirit, but we disagree after reading the same scripture. This is why we need church teaching. Yeah, that is why we do need church teaching. But even so, like, are you gonna accept that her own pastor was just like, you can go for personal learning, but you can't be a female pastor? And she was just like, whatever, I'm gonna be a female pastor. So, I don't know. Yeah, she skipped 1 Timothy for sure. We're actually doing that in one of my Christian groups for a Bible study. See? What's up, School of the World? What's going on? Oh, you lucky I'm going longer tonight, because if I would have ended earlier like yesterday, you would have missed it. But hello, welcome in. We watching some Jesse Lee Peterson about a female feminist pro-choice pastor. So that's what we watching right now. And that's the purpose of the church. You study the early church fathers and see where our theology comes from. Facts. That's why I like apologetics. Apologetics really digs into a lot of this stuff. That she obviously was just like, went to school and was like, ooh. They gave her a Bible. She was just like, wow, this is great. I like being here. And then closed it right on up because she didn't read nothing. She didn't read nothing in this Bible. Did she skip the whole Bible? She did. She definitely skipped this whole Bible. That was funny. Oh, you been busy that couple days? Hey, whatever's going on in your personal lives come first. Who's ever able to make it, and whenever, I'm just appreciative of whoever steps foot in here. But yeah, home life comes first.
I don't know what God was thinking. I spent 28 years living with prostitutes here in Los Angeles, and that was at God's behest. Now, he had a great plan. It worked wonderfully, and I loved every minute of it. But I would not be willing to second guess at all God's plan for me. There was a plan, no doubt about it. Always has been, probably always will be.
Were you surprised that God called you to be over men?
No.
The head of men?
I have 4 younger brothers. I've always been over on top of that. I really have.
Why would God put a woman the head of a man?
Oof.
Or men? I don't know, and I don't know that God really worries about that a whole lot, because that's always been my situation in life, and I work very well with men. I do. You're not surprised that He would put you in as head of men? No. Do you believe in that spiritual order of God?
Probably not.
You don't believe in that order. What is that order?
Well,
taking all the L's.
A male God and a male Jesus, with men. If you're doing the hierarchy thing,
right.
And somewhere down at the bottom, you're going to find women and children.
So you don't believe in God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, woman over children? Why not?
I don't even think it's scriptural, if you want to know the truth. No, I don't.
She went to theology school. Just so we're on the same page, she went to theology school. Clearly, she doesn't know what God's thinking.
I think we're all in this together. We're all children of God. We're all co-equal.
don't.
We all have gifts that are given to us by the Holy Spirit, and we're expected to live those out.
How are you going to represent God if you don't believe in His order?
Oh, I believe in a whole
Facts,
lot of
Timothy,
other stuff.
facts.
Not necessarily that order, but I believe in a whole lot of other stuff. God is love.
Is God a masculine spirit or feminine?
Neither. It's a spirit, a power,
A power.
a force, a light. I don't think of God as male or female, either one. Probably more female than male.
Are
not
you
either.
coming up with these ideas of your own, or because those are not?
If wait a minute, you ain't even got to go to theology school for this. If she believes God is female, why do we call him our Father, the Father, our Father? So who she thought that was when he's described in the Bible? Who she think that is? Why is Jesus okay? Well,
God's ideas or His ways. Are you like making up your own rules?
Oh no, I have a master's degree in feminist spirituality. There are plenty of sisters out there who are in the same camp that I am.
And are they?
You hear what she said? She says she's into spirituality. That ain't got nothing to do with religion. That's the whole, man, when you start doing all that's what they talk about as being evil in the Bible. She probably be playing with tarot cards and stuff. Nah.
They making up their own rules?
No, I think they're reading.
Ruin Titan, what's going on, man?
Read history and scripture with a hermeneutic of suspicion because it was given to us one way and interpreted to us in one particular fashion doesn't mean that was the penultimate or the right way to do it. And they've gone back, they've looked at the text, they've restudied the words, they've
I'm just playing it. I'm on the wrong screen. Oh man, I get an L for that. I get an L for myself. I was gonna say that they use a different Bible. They probably use the Queen James Bible. All right, let's stop. Right, that's what I'm saying. A master's degree in feminist spirituality, girl. She plays with rocks and tarot cards. She played with all that. That stuff evil.
Brought their own experience to bear on their reading of scripture, and they've said, "Wait a minute, I'm not sure that's right, or how it's been interpreted to."
Oh, Nikki, you ain't never heard of the Queen James Bible?
When they read the scriptures or whatever they read, they're coming up with their own interpretation.
Look, I would play y'all a video. I actually reacted to it on this channel. It's horrible. It's horrible. You know what? I'm not gonna play y'all that video.
Well, another interpretation. I don't know that it's necessarily their own.
Where are they getting these ideas from? Who is revealing this to them?
Study.
Study is? Mm-hmm. So they trust their own intellect.
Sure.
And that's not a good thing to do.
Why not?
Because your own intellect will lead you astray. Because
Really?
our own intellect is that of the deceiver. And he will cause you to believe whatever it is your ego needs to believe in order to deceive you.
I don't.
Look at her inner demon fighting it. Her inner demon is just like, no, I don't want to hear this. Like she does not. She don't want to do it. Oh, you saw my video of the ranting monkey? Thank you, I appreciate that. That is an old video, so you was deep in the archives. You went far into the depths of my videos. But I appreciate you liking it because you had to have liked it if you are now here. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh man, Timothy, she'd be better off playing rock paper scissors. Oh man, y'all. Y'all are funny, man. Proverbs 3:5-6. You know what? I'm actually about to pull that up. We're going to read this together. Because she didn't read it, but that don't mean we ain't got to read it because I don't know what she doing. Proverbs is actually really good, too. I got into a little bit of that in a Bible study session. You said 5-6. Okay. This is... All right, here we go. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So with that being said, she heard that and read that, and she was just like, ugh, I'm not doing none of that. I do what I want. God can't tell me what to do. I am a strong, independent woman. Oh, you did? That's what's up. Thank you for joining and being here, Ruin Titan. Oh, Nikki, you had already said it. I looked it up and you already put it in the chat. You have a sister who is just like this woman. We gotta hit a prayer for your sister real quick. And we hope one day she'll stop being a stiff-necked people, and her heart will soften, and she will come to see the light. See, I'm in my Old Testament, so now I'm talking like God from the Old Testament. The stiff-necked people, because they didn't want to listen. Ooh, Judges. I'll bring up Judges too. Wait a minute. We're going to keep this on screen so I don't lose it. You said Judges 21:25. I got you. Ooh, this just turned into us reading scripture. This is actually kind of lit. I see why Young Don does this now. Did you just say it too? I feel like you just said it too. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. You did say it. Y'all know, man, one day I'm just going to memorize it off the top of my head too. And I'm going to be like you guys. I'm going to be like, man, this is like Isaiah 5:15, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to be like y'all one day. Because I know what I'm reading. I can't remember the books. I can't remember none of the books. Your bro is still a Jewish atheist. That used to be me. That used to be me too, Nikki. No, one day he'll figure it out. He'll come out of it. My boyfriend is very close. He claims he's agnostic, right? But he's starting to lean more and more towards Christianity where I'm at. So it was called there's a term for it. It was agnotheistic or theostics or agnotheism. That's the name of it. That means when you're in the middle, but you start getting closer and closer to the truth. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason I came over to Christianity. So, real quick, super quick backstory. Me and him grew up together, but he grew up Christian. So when he was Christian, I was not. I was actually Jewish at the time. And I was we were in high school, so I started leaning more towards Jewish atheists at that point. And me and my brother used to crack all these jokes, and he was super into Jesus at one point. He even got like a Jesus tattoo right here. And then right after we graduated, he was just like any other kid that turns 18 and just like starts seeing the world for themselves, start studying religion, and he's just like, I'm atheist now. None of this works for me. And now he's gotten to a point where he's agnostic. But now I'm Christian, which nobody saw that coming. I promise you. And then now he's starting to lean closer. He's starting to get there. I'm rubbing off on him. I even sent him scripture the other day, and then he like hit me back, and he was like, yeah, this is all facts. I agree with this. And I'm just like, you're almost there. You're my Jewish sister. You my Jewish sister too. You got that Hebrew Bible? I don't have that Hebrew Bible. I don't have it, Nikki. She follows what they say to her, ruined. Look, one day she will see the light and she will be over here just like us. I'm putting this on here. I'm going to clip this in the video. One day you'll be better than us. All the learning. We'll see. Whatever God has in store. And you'll be praying for my sweetie. Yeah. I pray for him every day too. He's getting closer. He's almost there. We're going to make it.
Feel deceived?
You don't?
We going to make it.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Have you ever been married?
No.
And why not?
You know, I think I just forgot to do it.
So you are part of the Feminist Agenda Network. What is the purpose of that organization?
Well, actually, it's a group of Presbyterian women who are feminists in their thought, in their politics, probably both, and in their faith.
I bet they are.
And we get together occasionally. We take on mission projects that come across the spectrum. We get involved in Presbyterian church things when we see an opportunity to do that. We read books together. We study together. We meet.
What is a feminist?
What is a feminist? Feminist is a woman-identified woman.
Are you different than
What?
a national organization?
Dude, what? A woman-identified woman? What?
Feminist is a woman-identified woman.
Are you different?
I'm pretty sure that's not the definition. No, that's not the definition of feminist. A woman-identified woman? I've never heard that as a definition for feminist. There's no way. Yeah, here we go. An advocate of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. That's the definition I've heard all my life. What is she talking about? She don't even know the whole definition of what she's trying to be. She's talking about they get together and read all the time. She's a female pastor. She don't know the Bible. She don't know nothing. Why I know more than her? I'm like 5 months in. Why I know more than her? She went to theology school. Like, she don't listen. She don't do nothing. What's wrong with this woman?
Then the National Organization of Women Who Hate Men? Are you the same kind of feminist?
I'm a member of, or I was a member of now, and I don't
Really?
believe hating
What
men
is a
is
woman?
their goal.
No, the National Organization of Women hate men. They hate the
There are
unborn.
there are men who are members of now.
But they're weak. Those are girly men.
Whoa, girly men. Oh, I love it. They would not like to hear you say that.
Why not?
You may have a fight on your hands. Girly men. I'm going to remember that one.
Yeah. I mean, a real man would never be a part of a feminist
Okay, now you tell me what a
organization.
real man is.
Male who love God with all his heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else. And so he's guided by that. He's guided by what is right. You have a degree, as you just said, in feminist spirituality. Tell us about that.
Gosh, back in the 1990s, Immaculate Heart here in Los Angeles offered a master's degree in feminist spirituality, and it sounded wonderful.
So what is it, though?
You know, we were just talking about college degrees and what was like a worthless degree to go for. I threw out gender studies. One of you said underweaving basket degree. And in this, you know, feminist spirituality, I feel like all of those are worthless degrees to go to college for. Wait, who is it? You said Ann Oakley was a feminist. She believed guns made men and women equal. Facts. I rock with that. I love me some guns. She said apparently just make one up.
What is feminist spirituality? What does it look like? What is it?
Well, it's a different way to pray. It's a different way to sing. It's
How
a
do you
different way
pray?
to dance.
How do you pray?
What?
Well, in all kinds of ways. I pray while I knit. Okay.
But how do they teach you to pray, the feminist?
Well,
Let me hear you pray.
It can still be a standard prayer. I think what we think and feel when we do that is different than what we thought and prayed before we became feminists.
What do you think and feel?
Oh,
There's a warmth, there's a nurturing, there's a compassion, there's a strength that comes from that probably wasn't there before.
What are the words that you use?
Pray to God.
And
It would be
do you say
depending on,
Our Father, which art in
I
heaven?
say the Our Father, particularly in worship on
But
Sunday
Father
morning.
indicates man.
Mm-hmm.
But you said he's not a man. But why
that's
would you
traditional
pray? Why don't you
language.
pray Our Mother, which art in
I
heaven?
can, I do.
You do?
I have the Lord's Prayer rewritten in feminine language.
Oh, you do?
A lot of prayers written.
Can I hear that?
Ooh, it's Mother God would be how we'd start it out.
So you believe that God could be as a mother? A
That's
mother.
scriptural.
That sounds like a transgender person.
Hold on, wait a minute. She
Confused
said,
by this idea.
she said, my bad. I'm trying to film my cat being bad because he's screaming. She said, She said God was a mother and it's scriptural. I know, I don't believe it either. What? Nah, we gonna run that back just a little bit. Cause you know, maybe I just didn't hear correctly. But I know I did, cause y'all are freaking out too.
So you believe that God can be as a mother? A
That's
mother.
scriptural.
That sounds like a transgender person. Confused by his identity.
God's not confused.
He's not.
We may be, but God isn't.
Do you think
No,
it's
maybe
possible
you
you're
are.
confused about God?
Not at all.
By being into all this feminist stuff? No, why not?
If anything, it's made my relationship to God stronger.
How do you feel about men? How do you see men?
Wait, hold on. She tripping. She's tripping super hard. She's following the mother god religion from Korea. What is this? See? Now we're gonna do some research again. Cause what is that? Mother god religion. She did take she did take that feminist spirituality. Oh, I'm about to butcher this name hard. Zhang Gilja is a South Korean woman believed to be God the Mother within the World Mission Society Church of God. Oh, this woman is still alive? Because it didn't say she died. Yeah, it says she's 79 right now. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No. Now I need a picture of this. This lady? Oh, wait a minute. I gotta make this bigger. I'm about to say, don't be putting no virus on my PC now. This lady right here. And look at the little people in the picture worshiping. Oh, wow. Mike Winger has a video on this. Mike Winger makes like hour-long videos. No, I'm definitely gonna have to watch that now. I'm definitely, just so I don't forget. Actually, let me pull up YouTube. I'm about to type that in now. Mike Winger, Mother God. Oh, see, he said it's a cult. Alright, that makes more sense. This video 2 hours long. We would have to watch this together on stream. This is like when I watched Hebrews to Negroes. That was like a 3.5 hour thing. I swear on everything. I fell asleep. Like, I missed like a good hour of that. Man, look, if y'all were here for that period of the channel, I got so much flack for watching those videos. It's like, look, man, I just be trying to learn everything, and I've stated that numerous times. I'm not a black Hebrew Israelite. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not any of that. It's just if somebody says, hey, you should check this out and watch it. Okay, cool, I'll watch it. And like, it'll go on the channel. So many people tripping. Somebody called me Hitler because I watched all that. Y'all gonna be real mad that the whole church denomination series, I gotta talk to them. I gotta talk to the black Hebrew Israelites, because if you pull up a chart of Christianity, underneath this chart, you have Orthodox, Catholic, and then Protestants, right? And then under Protestants, you have all the denominations. There's like so many different denominations. It's wild. Then under Orthodox, I think, y'all got like 2 or 3 things under Orthodox? Because it's like Eastern. What is it? It's like Eastern, Reformed. I'm not Orthodox, so I don't remember. And then under Catholics, you have like all the little Catholics, well, if they have subsets. I still don't. Kyle's probably just like, what are you reading? But under the Protestant label, all the different denominations, the black Hebrew Israelites are technically under that denomination. as well as Mormons, even though Christians don't want to claim Mormons, they're technically under there. You have the Christian Scientists. A bunch of wild stuff is like under this list. And because I'm going to do that series and I have to talk to people and be like, so explain the denomination. What would you like? I want them to talk to me as if I don't know anything that's going on and you were trying to get me to go to your church, right? Like the goods, the bads. And then you would get my point of view and my take on it at the end of it when I'm by myself. So I have to study, learn this stuff. And people was wilding out and tripping. Watch David Lynn take on, yeah, I like David Lynn's videos. I'm gonna check those out too.
I like men.
What do you like about them?
Well, I don't think I've ever been asked that before. Really, I haven't.
She'll know what you like about men?
What's not to like?
No, that's not the question.
But it is.
No,
I don't know
what do you like about
I
them?
don't know that I treat men any differently than I treat women.
No, I didn't ask how you treated them. I asked, what do you like about men?
Feelings, what do I like? Hugs. I like the way some of them live their lives. I don't know that I could give you a laundry list of things I like about men. I really don't.
How do you know you like them if you don't know what you like?
That's sad. She can't even list what she likes about men? Girl, you've been that brainwashed and warped. She must think men is like evil or something.
About them?
Well, I don't like all men. But the ones I do like, I really like. Okay. I know when I like someone and when I don't, and when I can be open and honest and candid with somebody and when I can't be. And that doesn't have gender attached to it.
Do you like the authority that's been given unto men by God?
That would be patriarchy, and no, I'm not real thrilled with patriarchy.
Why not?
Because I think it was wrong a lot of the time.
So God was wrong by that.
Well, okay, God gave it. God made a mistake. If that's
But
really
you say
true.
God made no mistakes.
I think men just assumed the authority and said that God had given it to them.
But you say God made no mistake, so He gave that to the man, that authority. It wasn't a mistake there, right? It was the right thing to do.
I said I think men assumed that God had given that authority to them and they took it. I don't know.
No, you started that out saying, I think God made a mistake. She said that. We heard her say that.
It was wrong a lot of the time.
So God was wrong by that.
Well, okay, God gave it. God made a mistake.
I knew we heard that. She said, I think God made it and made a mistake. And then it's like, oh, you think God made a mistake? No, I said man took it and made a mistake. No, you said God. She's crazy.
Assumed that God had given that authority to them.
She's crazy.
I don't know if that necessarily God did.
Who do you think that God gave it to? If He didn't give it to women don't have it.
She crazy.
But men do. We notice that men do. Unless it's a girly man. But
girly man. Okay, we can leave the girly man behind.
So you're not able to tell me what you like about men. Were you raised by your
gender enters into that much? I really don't.
Were you raised by your father and mother?
Mm-hmm.
You were raised by who were you closest to?
My mother was a stay-at-home mom, so I probably spent more time with her.
Right. So
my dad.
And your mom was a stay-at-home mom. And you just, yeah, she definitely believes in a different God. She definitely does. Cause I don't know what Bible she like. I mean, I guess if she reading that mother cult Bible, cause she don't even, like you said, Adam came first. She don't even know. Yeah, she idolizes it so much she can't even properly take in scripture, and it's sad.
So your mother than your father?
Probably not.
What type of man was your father?
He was a great guy. Funny, warm, quiet, gentle.
Queen James Bible.
Great guy. Great guy. Professional.
Do you believe in good and evil?
Sure.
Good and evil. Abortion, good or evil?
Oh, good.
Good. Abortion is good.
I almost choked on my water.
Take the unborn life.
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily the good part of abortion. All right. I think abortion is necessary.
No, it's not.
First of all, what's good about abortion? So you agree it's not good to take an unborn child's life,
well,
right?
You're using language I wouldn't use. Okay?
Right.
All right. Let's just cut to the chase on this. God had the good sense to create women as child bearers, and he or she made them.
The fact that she said he, and then she realized she messed up, and she was like, I mean, or she. It's like, no, you know what it is. You purposely choosing to just whatever this is. I don't know what this is.
Moral agents. Women have moral agency. Absolutely.
I agree with
God-given
you.
Moral agency.
I agree with you.
Now, why is it that we don't trust women with something that God indeed did trust women with?
Let me go back to the question of, you agree that it's not good to take the life of an unborn child? That's not a good thing, right?
It's a necessary thing.
Is it a good thing?
I don't know.
You say you
In some-
understand
in
good.
some- in
you
some
are, come on,
contexts,
you
it
are a
probably
reverend.
is.
You are a reverend. You say you were called by God. Is God good?
Sure.
And so you and I agree it's not a good thing to take an unborn child's life.
I don't use that language.
Right, but I'm
saying
asking
it's
you
necessary.
that. Is it good? You said no, it's
No,
not good,
it's not
right?
good.
And so if women are so smart, as you just indicated, why would they make that type of decision to do evil to an unborn child?
Because their life dictates that needs to be the decision they make.
What does that mean? Most women are doing it because of the career.
Oh, now wait a minute.
Or they hate the man. Or the baby's in the way.
Who do you hang
It
out
was
with?
a mistake.
What do you mean who you hang out with? That's the 99% of abortion, lady. That's like their first step is birth control. Like, who do you hang out with? Who do you talk to? Right? She's passed herself off as representing Christ in his church, and she don't represent none of that. She represents none of this. This is.
But where is the good common sense in that?
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Women are not bimbos, okay?
But why would they make a good, evil decision? You and I agree that taking an unborn child's life
your
is not
value being
good.
projected onto them. The women I talk to who have a crisis pregnancy are faithful, loving, kind, generous women who are in a very, very difficult situation.
But
in
they
their
don't
lives.
love their unborn child.
That's not
Those who
true.
commit abortion. They don't, because if they did, they wouldn't do evil to an unborn child. Isn't that right?
No, absolutely not.
That's not right?
What if they have 5 other children and they can't possibly take on a 6th one?
They can put it up for adoption. They don't have to kill it.
Half of the
A
children
good
in the
person would make
listen to
that
me.
decision.
Half of the children in the California juvenile justice system are adoptees. So don't talk to me about how wonderful adoption is.
And that's a reason to kill them.
If we have a pro-life culture of substance here, there wouldn't be 12,000 kids available for adoption today in Los Angeles County.
Is that a reason to kill the unborn child?
Not a reason, no.
But why are you bringing that up?
Because we get all excited about fetuses that have potential life for sure, but not real life yet, and yet we don't think a thing about all of these kids who are already here, who are not living the American dream.
But you still agree with me
Facts.
that's not a reason to
Facts.
kill the unborn child, right?
That's not what I said. The reasons to have an abortion are purely that of the individual woman.
Let me ask, would a woman who is born again of God, she is a daughter of God, and God is good, would she commit an abortion? Would
Sure.
she kill her unborn child?
Sure, it happens. It happens.
Let's go to homosexuality. It's very prevalent
I can
now.
hardly wait. We've already got the girly man out there. So.
Yeah, fetuses are already alive, so I don't know what
it's going to get worse? Oh,
No,
dear.
no,
All right.
I'm kidding. Let me ask, homosexuality, is that of God?
Sure.
Did God create the spirit of homosexuality?
You bet.
He did, and why?
It's part of the human condition.
Why would he create that?
Why not?
Don't tell me why he would, because homosexuals are suffering. I just read a report recently that most of them have all sorts of diseases. They're alcoholics. They're drug addicts. They're very unhappy. They are confused
not
about
true.
who they are. Why would God do that to them?
No, I don't. I think our culture has done that to them. I don't think God did anything to them.
And how did our culture do that to them?
Oh my goodness. The Presbyterians have spent the last 40 years fighting this battle trying to make these people conform to what their expectations of homosexuality are, and it didn't work. And I'm glad. I mean, I think that homosexuality happens, and these are still children of God. Absolutely.
God doesn't say that. God is against homosexuality.
Oh, wait a minute now. Where did you get that?
It's an abomination.
From the Bible.
Who said that?
And that's
Where
why,
show me the
that's
scripture
why
where
Christ
it says that.
came. That's why Christ came, so that we can overcome sin.
Homosexuality is not a sin.
If God wanted homosexuality to be a quote-unquote normal thing, he knew that they were going to want a family. Why did he not provide a way for them to do it without stepping outside of their homosexuality?
That question doesn't even really make sense.
Two men cannot have a baby together, two women.
They can adopt children. They can certainly do surrogacy
Is
or
there a
AR.
Well, we just saw the Bryson Gray video earlier. We actually watched it on stream yesterday, where the study shows how kids adopted by same-sex parents turn out, and they turn out way worse than kids that are in like straight households. It's insane.
Is there a difference between making the babies together and adopting a baby? Is there a difference?
Well, of course there is.
So then that's what I'm asking you.
Welcome back, K-Elf.
Satisfying.
But I'm asking you about that, and you're not answering that.
Well, you're putting a framework on God particularly, and on human beings. Well, it's not indirect; it's directly. That doesn't make sense, particularly in this day and age, when we have available to us a vast array of choices when it comes to parenting.
Let's go with the transgender situation. We now have it where men feel like a woman or a woman feel like a man, and they want to use whatever bathroom or shower of their choice. You know, all of a sudden a woman feels like she's a man. She want to walk into the bathroom with other men or into the showers. Is that right for her, for this confused person to be able to do that?
Well, I think we're probably the ones that are confused, but I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about that.
Is it right for them to be able to do that?
Absolutely.
And why?
Well, it's what they're most comfortable with.
Why is it right, though?
Because we're kind, generous people, and we want to make people feel good about themselves.
So it's because the kind, gentle people want to make others feel good. Mm-hmm. And that make it right?
Sure. What other motivation could we possibly have?
How about women who are having sex who are little girls? Do you want to be kind and gentle and
now you're talking about pedophilia, and
what's
I'm not
the difference?
Going there.
It's still
I'm
wrong.
not going there.
Why not?
Pedophilia is not okay.
Right.
I would agree with you. It's not.
Would you
Male or
want?
Well, at least she has some common sense about one thing, because this is just all over the place. Like, yeah, she is living by her heart, because I don't know what's happening with this woman on screen. All right, hold on. So we got more scripture. I'm gonna read it. So we have Psalm 139, and it's 13 to 18, and KJV. Here we go. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God, how great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Yes, sir. This lady, yeah. I don't know. This happened. Hold on. I gotta put this on screen. But this happened in high school. A girl was Yeah, this happens a lot, and for her to just be like, I'm not gonna think about this, and I'm not gonna think about that. She lives too much in the world to be talking about she reads the Bible and loves Jesus. I don't believe none of that. Yeah, she is demoralized. She can't see the truth. She can't see nothing. She's
female.
Would you want to take a shower with some guy who decides that he feels like a woman, and there you are in the shower, and he walk in too and just take off his clothes and get in there with you?
Where do you hang out?
No, this is a transgender person.
This is life.
This is a transgender person.
Okay.
This is life. That's like that the transgender female swimmer Leah Thompson. First off, they said all those girls was like, we are not comfortable sharing a locker room with him, and the school forced them to, and they was like, we not changing this locker room with him. And then they overheard him talking about how he still had his like male parts, and he still had a girlfriend and stuff. There's a whole dude in their locker room, and the school tried to they tried to make him feel. They reworked everything for him. It didn't make any sense.
This is happening.
And,
Would you?
no,
if you
it's
say
not
that
happening.
It is happening.
It is happening.
When you say
not
that it's
happening.
fine, would you want to be in your shower at your church, and some
I have a
man
shower at my
feel
church.
like or anywhere, and some man feel like a woman, and he said, "I'm a transgender.
You
I
would be
feel like
arrested.
a woman."
That's not going to happen.
No.
It's
Would you
already
want-
happened.
You don't just feel like a woman.
That's what they say. They feel
That's
like
what
a
they
woman.
say.
That's why
They
they
do.
call it transgender.
And as long as they've not had reassignment surgery, they're not going to come into a woman's bathroom and take
Yeah,
their
they
clothes
will.
off.
Why not?
Yeah, they will.
Because they just, there's consequences to that.
Is it wrong?
No, it's
for them
not.
to do that?
Well, it's illegal.
Is it wrong?
No, it's not.
Sure, if it's illegal, it's wrong.
No. Is it wrong?
I don't know what you're wrong. Well, by virtue of the fact that it's illegal, yes, but it's not wrong for them to
Let's
be
say it's not
transgender.
illegal in some states, and some man decided to get in the shower with you because he feels like a woman. Legally, he can do it. Is it wrong for him to do it?
It's not. It doesn't even make sense. It's not
What
gonna
doesn't make
happen.
She
sense?
don't get it. She don't get it.
That's not how transgender people operate.
What
for
doesn't
one
make
thing.
sense? You said it doesn't make sense. What
That-
doesn't make
that
sense?
some grown man.
He said Virginia hid awards from students under investigation now. Things happening now exposing way deeper cover-ups. Yeah, I bet. This world is sick, man. This world is sick. She broke. She definitely broke. We're getting near the end, so she's going to be walking off soon.
Man who still has male appendages but wants to shower with women because he feels like one. It's going to happen. Not how they think.
And
not
you
how they
say-
behave.
And you say it's not going to happen because it doesn't make sense?
Well, it's illegal. They
No,
would be
I say
arrested.
where it is legal. They should pass
It's
a law.
not legal.
If they should
It is
pass a law,
legal.
it is legal. Would it be wrong for him to do it?
Of course, it would be illegal.
No,
it's not gonna,
you're not
that
listening.
kind of behavior. Yes,
Well,
I am, and
no,
that kind
I
of
said
behavior
in
isn't going to
places
be
where-
legalized.
In places where it is
And
legal.
where is it? Let's
Would it become,
get real
if
here.
it should become legal, would it be wrong for him to do it?
It's not going to become legal
Why are you avoiding the wrong person?
because you're trying to put words in my mouth.
I'm not.
and
I'm asking you a
going
question.
there.
You're a
No.
reverend. I have you here because I want you to help us. You don't seem to understand right and wrong or good versus evil. And being a reverend, I'm a little surprised. Why is that?
Well, I certainly don't have your sense of right and wrong.
What sense do you have of right and wrong?
Well, I know good when I see it, and I know evil when I see it. I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah. And what does evil look like?
Orlando.
Orlando? Meaning what?
Atatuck, meaning that somebody went in with a gun and killed a whole lot of people.
It
Somebody
was-
blew up the airport in Istanbul yesterday. That's
It
not
was
good.
a Muslim that.
Yeah, it's already legal. And you know what happened with that? The guy impregnated 2 of the female inmates that he was with. It's already legal. She's crazy.
Yeah, so it was Islamic terrorism. Is that evil?
Well, what he did was evil, absolutely. But I don't know that it's necessarily that Islam has that much to do with it.
But he gave glory to Allah Akbar and to ISIS, and
I don't
he was
think
doing
Allah
it in honor
probably
of them.
feels honored by that.
Who?
Allah? I don't think Allah.
But why is he teaching that or encouraging that?
I don't think Allah is.
Who's doing it
think
then?
I think that there are some people who take Islamic stuff totally wrong.
Do you believe there's a God and a devil?
I believe there's evil, sure.
How about a God and a devil?
I don't do much with the Satan thing. I just don't.
You don't? What do you teach at your church?
What do you teach? Yeah.
I teach them the truth. I teach them about
What's the truth?
Salvation. I teach them about how to be better people.
What is the truth?
Well, that's a good question, and that's going to be my sermon this Sunday. I just read an article in the LA Times last week about racism, and the white people that were polled said that there wasn't really a racism problem, and the black people who were polled said that there was a racism problem. Now, who's speaking the truth there?
The white folks.
Not necessarily. I'm a white folk, and I don't believe that racism isn't a problem.
There's no such thing as racism.
Well, that doesn't, just because it's a cultural construct doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist.
No, really.
Do you believe racism?
You're a black man, and you're going to sit here and tell me that racism doesn't exist.
And I grew up on a plantation down in Alabama under the Jim Crow law. Racism does not exist. It's a lie. Do you disagree with that?
Oh, please. I pastor an African-American church. I see it daily.
But you're a white woman. You pastor in a black church.
Yeah.
Where's your proof that racism exists?
The proof is in the differences in their salaries.
In their salaries? That's not true. I mean, people work at different levels and at different times, and they do different jobs, so that's not proof. Give me some real proof here.
I have women in my congregation who are caregivers.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they are paid to the person less than the women of other races, other colors that work for the same agency.
Okay, so I pay my black employees more than I do my white
Good for
ones.
you.
More, is that racism?
I'm not sure what that is.
Why not?
Racism is a power differential.
I'm discriminating against my white employees. I'm paying my black people, and my white employees are better workers.
No, it is discrimination.
Is
There's
that
no doubt
racism?
about it, but I'm not sure it's racism.
Why not?
Because the white folks still call the shots.
But I'm calling the shot.
Well,
The
and
shots.
if you want
I'm
to
calling the
discriminate in
shot.
that manner, I don't know that anybody would ever stop you.
Is it racism?
No.
But why, if the
Interesting. Her thought process is just all screwed up. She just believes whatever the media tells her to believe. She got that guilty white syndrome.
white man does it? I don't do that, by the way. But why is it that?
Darn. Thought I would get your employees a nice little raise here.
Why is it if the white man did it, does it, it's racism, but if I do it, it's not?
Well, white privilege is the answer.
But I'm privileged here. I own the company. I'm paying the salary.
But that doesn't necessarily give you the kind of privilege that a white man would have. In
I
the
have a
same
better
position.
privilege. I own the company.
All right. Good for you.
So why is it if the white man did it, it's racism? If I do it, it's not.
Because the privilege lies with my skin color, okay? Not with what I own or what I do.
Then why did you use that as an example then? Give me an example of racism. That's not an example then, because I own the company. I'm black as the ace of spades. I'm discriminated against my white employees.
And that's not racism.
And it's not racism. But if my white counterpart did the exact same thing, it would be racism.
To black employees?
Right.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
amazing. And that makes sense to you.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
The Bible says that our battle is not physical, but a spiritual battle, that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places. It's a spiritual battle. Is that true?
Sure.
Then why do you call it a physical battle?
Well, because we live in a physical realm, and much of what we deal with is physicality.
But the Bible, no, everything we do is spiritual. We just live in a physical body. But everything we do is spiritual.
I
so
want
why
balance
not
there.
follow the rule of God rather than the ruler of the order of man? God says it's spiritual. Why not go with that? Since you are reverend.
I'm looking for balance here. I like my physical life and my spiritual life to be pretty much in sync with each other, and it's doable most of the time. Although the older I get, the more difficult it seems to be. But I don't like the idea of spiritual warfare. I don't like.
Hold on. Oh, they're not gonna allow me to put that on screen. Do I gotta refresh this? There we go. Oh no, it still didn't pop up. You know what? I'm still gonna say it anyways though. You are right, Tyree. By her logic, she has all the power and privilege of her church. See, they don't think, man. They just say stuff. They just say stuff. Yeah, sadly, the number of humans following this woman in her narrative is insane. They hear the words, but it's the message they're missing. Yeah. I feel like her congregation and other congregations like this, because they just see a pastor, so they like, oh, this must be correct because this the pastor. I just feel like she gonna get judged harshly. We know what's about to happen to her, but the actual congregation, I just feel like that whenever they pass, you know, God gonna have to sit down with them and give them a good one-on-one and be like, hey, you were led astray, so I'm gonna give you one final chance here. This is the gospel. And then God just runs through it and be like, what do you believe? And then after getting it, if they be like, I don't believe that, then, you know, it's like, oh, well, you had your one chance. Then they go. But, like,
Like the idea that
So which God are you called by? Because you don't like anything that the Creator like. Are you called by your father the devil or the Creator God?
Oh my gosh.
That's called purgatory.
Is it immoral to have children out of wedlock?
Yeah. I noticed purgatory, that term's only used with Catholics, though. Well, you know, I don't know if Orthodox uses it, but I know Catholics use it. But I know Protestants don't use that term or theory at all. Well, I can't call it a theory, but you know what I'm saying. They don't use the term, which is so weird, because, like, it's like, if you think about it, shoal and ain't that the same thing? If you think about it.
I think at one time it was. I don't think it is at this stage of the game.
Why did it change? At one time it was
Because-
immoral. Why did it change?
I think women just did it. I think they just said, you know, this is ridiculous. I'm pregnant. I'm going to keep the kid, and society can like it or not like it. I don't.
So
really
does
care
it make
which.
it moral for them to make that decision?
Moral?
Is it moral to have children now? Even though I'm pregnant, I just had a baby. Is that moral or immoral?
It's a sound moral decision to keep.
Is it
keep a
immoral?
child.
No. Amazing. So who is God? I want who is God to you?
Well, God is a spirit, a good spirit, a spirit of grace, a spirit of kindness, compassion, integrity. God has a lot of integrity.
Is he a spirit of truth?
Sure.
But you haven't told the truth.
I've spoken from my heart. I think that probably qualifies as the truth.
But
That doesn't
you don't
qualify as the
recognize
truth.
good at all. Everything you seem to recognize is evil. And you're calling that good.
Well,
And I'm a little I'm a little confused about it
You're putting
because
words
you
in
are
my mouth.
because you are a reverend. I'm a little confused about it. That's why I'm bringing it to the forefront, because I want to understand it. And I know you have a church, and you're talking to other people. And you're talking to black people, and black people have enough problem already with denial of truth, and you seem to not recognize truth. Why is that?
I think I recognize truth when I hear it or see it.
Did you have fun?
Fun.
Was it fun?
All right, it was fun.
Thank you.
You insist.
I had fun.
It was a tea party. Yes. Interesting.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you, all right?
Sure. And you too.
All right, thank you. All right. And thank you folks for tuning in.
Well, she
Tune
didn't
in
run.
Next time.
That's shocking. For it to be 35 minutes, I thought she was gonna bounce. I really did. I thought she was gonna run. I got to give her props for not leaving, because any other person, all the other videos we saw, well, as soon as they start getting like, I don't really agree with this, they bounce as soon as possible. Don't agree with anything she said. Big L. Big L. But you know, she's... just gotta pray for her at this point. Just gotta pray for her. All right, y'all. Well, It's about to be 10 o'clock. So I actually went a little bit longer today. So I that's not bad. That's not bad. So that lets me know that I could possibly even push it to 10 o'clock sometimes if I wanted to. Can I please have my arm back, sir? You've just been going crazy on me this whole time. But with that being said, I'm going to start closing up shop. I appreciate you guys for coming through, for joining me on another live stream. It's been fun. I like doing these things with you guys because it makes the videos way more entertaining. Way more. I need my arm. I need my arm, sir. My cat is tripping. Yeah, before we head out, we need to pray for her and her congregation. Yeah, we do. Because they need all the prayers and helps in the world. Thank you, Sane. Thank you all for coming through. Great stream. Blessings. Oh, you thought it was great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks all. Enjoyed the conversation. Thanks again. I appreciate y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all so much. And we will be doing this again next Monday at 7 p.m. EST, just like this week. And my cat he just wants attention. He's been freaking out this whole time. You see this? Look at this. He don't know what he want to do. He just acting out because I'm talking to y'all instead of talking to him. But yes, you guys have a blessed week. Enjoy. If you have Bible study and church service tomorrow, please enjoy it. Please enjoy it. I hope you have a wonderful week. And when you go to church next Sunday, I hope y'all have a wonderful day of church for those that go on Sunday as well. And I will see you, like I said, next Monday, 7 p.m. EST. Be here. Be here. Because I know I will. I'm going to be here regardless.